Good morning, Columbus.
Joe, that ain't good enough. Come on, Joe.
Wait, no. Stop this one.
Frizzle left tight, F fly, pass 37 punch waggle, help baby dizzy, X fan on the turbo.
Thank you, baby.
Football, man.
It's time to listen to a bald, fat loudmouth
Mr. T-Bone.
and a former football player.
And that ball intercepted by Tyvis, pal.
Wow, no radio station has ever done that before.
Did it work for those people?
No, it never does. But it might work for us.
Welcome to T-Bone and Tyvis.
That's right, we got you this morning right here on T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan. Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone. He is Ohio State national champion Tyvis, pal. And we got a lot of Buckeyes to get to over the next 3 hours as sounds like they're doing some bidding for the Big Ten there, Tyvis. Yesterday, Ryan Day getting out there, speaking to ESPN. He wants the 4, man. He wants 4 automatic qualifiers for the Big Ten. We'll discuss how many they should get. We'll see what the reaction is out there. And really, I think the big question about Ohio State having to take up that bidding for the Big Ten and which model actually works the best. So we'll get to that coming up as well. Jim Schwartz talking about Myles Garrett up in Cleveland with some high praise for him. Plenty of baseball. We got the NHL kicking off last night in an instant classic. We get the NBA started tonight. And yes, we have to discuss Adam Silver. Tyvis, we'll get it a little later. I really think he might be delusional about how he's viewing this NBA Finals, and I know he's got to defend it, and I know he's got to be all upset about it. We got plenty locked and loaded for the next 3 hours. Tyvis, how you living on this Thursday morning, man?
You know what? I'm doing well. You know what?
Good.
It's been 2 days since I've had my hair transplant surgery. The only thing that I've felt is I felt like a little thing in the back of my head, just a little small, like you get an ice pack and put it on there, it's fine.
Yeah.
So for the most part, the recovery has been well. You know what? I've got to tell you, Matt. So Monday, I had like a little Last Supper meal, right? So if you don't know me, you know I don't cook. Like I don't really know how to cook.
Sure.
But since I've been doing this morning show thing, I said, you know what? I'm going to pick up this new art. I'm going to start trying to learn how to cook, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
my wife has been hands off. She just sits there and she watches me just to make sure I don't burn nothing down. But for the most part, she's just standing there and observing.
Yeah.
So Monday, I decided to make this chicken bacon ranch pasta.
Ooh.
Right. I know, right? So as I'm making it, you know, everything is going well. I'm following the directions. I'm doing everything right. Do you know that when it was all said and done, and I sat down and I had some, and then my wife had some, it was delicious.
Good, yeah.
I am a chef. I'm a chef now, man. That's what I'm adding to the long list of things I do now. Tyvis, the chef.
I love it for you because it tastes better when you sit there and you cook it, you know? So, like, the dynamic at my house is my wife's got a full-time job and, like, you know, we have the 2 kids. So it's some nights we have a chalkboard on our refrigerator, and we'll just put Monday, we're eating this. Tuesday, we're eating this. And then that way, both of us know this is what we're having for dinner. So whoever gets to it first, come, 4:45, 4:30, somebody's got to go pick up our son from school. Just somebody start after it. But she will send me, like, the Pinterest recipes, which is, I don't know if you guys ever, you just have the recipe on your phone, and you're sitting there, you're cooking it. I think so there's nights that my wife will cook, and it's delicious, don't get me wrong, but it's the nights when I cook. When you're sitting there and you're measuring this, and you got to put this over here, and you got to throw this on the stove, like, you feel better about it. Like, it tastes better, I think, when you eat it and when you get done. Speaking of doing the morning show, I don't know if you're an oatmeal guy. I have an overnight oats recipe I got to send to you. It's a lifesaver, and I don't even like oatmeal, but I eat it in the mornings because you could just make a batch for 3 days, and then that way you can wake up instead of having to make something or put some, this, that. You can eat it, take it on the go.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome.
You need to send me that so when I travel to Cleveland, I'll be able to have something to eat in the car.
Oh, dude, it's perfect. You get a little cooler or whatever, and it's like 4 ingredients. You can get it at the store. You can add some like honey and fruit. I'll text it to you. It's a good one to have around. So real quick on my day yesterday, so my son's birthday's coming up, right?
Oh, man.
So we're at the store.
How old?
He'll be 4.
Oh.
He'll be 4. So it's going to be a fun time. So it's like, when they're younger, they know their birthday and they appreciate it, but they don't really kind of understand it. They just like, oh, great, it's a party. He legit knows, like, hey, I'm getting presents and we get to go to grandma and grandpa's and like all that. So I'm running around yesterday just picking up some stuff. And by the way, I never realized since like Party Center closed, it's hard to find balloons.
Yeah.
So dude, I'm going.
You gotta go like Dollar Tree or something.
Dude,
like
I
that.
went to 3 different Dollar Trees because the first 2 were like, oh, we're sold out of that one. We're sold out of Paw Patrol. Oh, we don't have the Spidey one. And I was like, I ain't gonna short my boy here. I'm like, all right. So like, I drive around, I find it. Tyvis, I am 35 years old. I lost a balloon yesterday, and it was as painful as if I was 4 years old. I'm putting it in the car.
And it flew away.
You always see people in the parking lot when they're just, the balloons are smacking them in the face and they're trying to walk. I got it into the car, and I'm like trying to put the 2-year-old in the car. The balloon went from the back. I have a Ford Explorer, so like I have the back part that's open. So I threw everything in there. Then I go to the seat to put the 2-year-old in their car seat, and the thing like migrated up my car, somehow got to my door, and like, that pain where you watch it take off and it's too far, but you try to reach anyway.
Yeah.
And it's like out of a movie. Like I'm reaching for this $2 balloon, by the way. It's not like it was the end of the world. It was $2. But like I'm reaching for it. I get the lady in the parking lot staring at me. She started laughing in her car. And I watched this balloon take off, and in the back of my head I was like, I had the same pain as if I was 5 years old. I'm 35 years old, losing a balloon yesterday. So that was my day, getting ready for a birthday party coming up for my son. Ryan Day out there, though, talking to ESPN, and he was discussing where he stands, and in a way where Ohio State stands on this whole thing with the college football playoff and the at-large bid. So it's like, Tyvis, we've talked about it even this week, when Brett Yormark came out, and he's the commissioner of the Big 12, and we know the expansion is coming. You can't fight that anymore. The fight is on about what this model is going to look like for these automatic qualifiers. The one for a conference champion, it's the 5 and 11, basically. There's 5 conference champions. They're automatically in. And then you have 11 at-large bids. The push now from Ryan Day, and I would say the Big Ten, because I want to talk about that in a second, is basically the other version of the model. There are 4 out there for the Big Ten. There are 4 for the SEC. There's a couple for the Big 12. There's a couple for the ACC. There's 1 for the Group of 5. There's an independent. And then you just kind of mess it up from there. But the big fight is going to be that the SEC and the Big 10 get 4 teams each. And Tyvis, I want to ask this, and maybe we can even throw this out as our Twitter question today as well, 971 The Fan. How many automatic bids should the Big 10 get? 4 or 1? You think I'm like... That's basically it, right? It's either they're not going to sit there and be like, well, we'll just take 2. Or they're either in for 4 or they're in for 1. Tyvis, what do you think the right number is for the Big Ten?
Honestly, I mean, like I say, Big Ten has been dominant these past couple of years, but as we get more closer and as the more we talk about it, I'm actually starting to be good with just the 5+11 model. I really am. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand that the getting the 4 helps the Big Ten make money because they'll sell those games, but I believe in it being fair. I believe that it makes, if you do the 5 or 4, whatever it is, it makes it important to win your conference. You get rewarded for winning your conference, to where the other one, you don't necessarily have to win your conference. You just have to be one of the top 4 seeds in the conference, and for some odd reason, like as good as the Big Ten is, like it's not going to be that much parity. I think that we're talking about, when you think about just the top teams in the Big Ten, you got Ohio State, the Wolverines, Penn State, USC, and Oregon. That's like the top 5 teams. So that means every year, it's just going to be 1 team out of those 5 that I just named that don't make it. And, like, that's okay. That's But I feel like now when you get a chance to do the 5+11, I think that it gives you more parity inside of it. now you have to actually focus on the regular season if you're in the Big Ten because, you're not automatically getting a qualifier. You got to actually be better than other teams in other conferences because I feel like if other teams get hot, like maybe the Big 12 get hot or maybe the ACC get hot for one season, if they're only getting 2 bids, but it's 3 teams in there that's hot, like I just feel like that's not fair. And they probably are much deserving than I don't know, Oregon or USC in the Big Ten. So I'm actually leaning more towards the 5+11 model.
I love the 5-11 model. I do. And here's the thing, and it's kind of what you're talking about there. I'm going to say a statement. I don't know, people sometimes have been hearing me for like the first time this week, and I've been so happy to be able to do this and be in a new market and be able to get to talk to people and do the show with you and all that. And what people probably have already learned through 3 days, or if not, you will soon, is that I can say some things that you sit there and you go, what the hell did he just say? Like it makes either no sense or you're like, wait. So here's what I'm going to say. It's going to make some people out there go, what the heck did he just say? The more you ask for, the less you're going to get. Because the more teams that they're asking for, I actually think could hinder them from getting more teams in. Follow me on this. If the Big Ten is just, they're pounding the table, we want 4, we want 4, we want 4. I think 4, Tyvis, is all that you will ever get because you're just going to be conditioned to say, well, yeah, you got those 4 spots, fill them up with whoever. Because the other thing about the automatic qualifiers is that going to be something that the conference picks? The conference could pick the 4 of who they want to send and what happens if 2 teams have a tie and things like that. But if they keep asking for 4, and to your exact point, there's a year that there's actually 5 that deserve to go. Everybody's going to say, well, absolutely not. You got 4. That's your number. That's always going to be your number. That you're not getting 5. When in reality, it should be open to that, but it just won't be. If you go to the 5-11 model, you're wide open. You're wide open. There might be years you get 3. There might be years that you get your 5. But I maybe am wrong for this. I trust them too much to get it all figured out. We're not done with this conversation. I want to keep it going. Ohio State, Big Ten, automatic qualifiers. Ryan Day comes out to ESPN yesterday and says, we deserve the 4. We'll discuss it. And also some updates on the Ohio State future schedule and how I think that might change with the automatic qualifiers. Comes your way next right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning to all of our folks over in New Albany. If you're making your way out the door, things are looking great for your drive times. We were a little concerned this morning. We were noticing some delays and slowdowns because of some ongoing construction projects, especially 161, as crew members work to widen that area. But since then, they have cleaned up the scene, especially over by Hamilton Road. No traffic cones in the area, so things are running just smoothly for your Thursday commute. I'm 10 TV's Brain Albizu with your fan traffic.
Fan traffic is sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina. It's boat season at Buckeye Lake Marina. Largest new and used boat inventory in the 3-county region. Details and more at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
Now is the time to get your body right. Stop going through life dealing with pain. Remember the good days where you were able to play sports with your friends? Now you're losing to your kids in activity. It's time to take the crown back. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell for QC Kinetics. They are different. These are not quick fixes. This is a revolutionary treatment that works to give your body long-term relief. You'll meet face-to-face with Dr. Aaron Wilkoff and the QC Kinetics medical team. They'll teach you how their regenerative treatment takes your body's own healing power and helps heal and restore your damaged tissue. These are well-respected protocols that include potent and powerful cellular level treatments. QC Kinetics has helped myself and tens of thousands of people right here in the Columbus area. They'll get to the root of your pain and fix it. You will be showing your kids who's boss, just like old times. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
It always seems to happen at the worst time. You're finally in bed after a long, hard day, and then you hear it. You sit up, heart sinking. Is that coming from the ceiling? All of a sudden, it's a middle-of-the-night flashlight hunt to find the leak. But don't worry, Newman Roofing has you covered, literally. With more than 3 decades in the business, we've seen just about everything a storm can throw at a roof. Our teams know how to spot the problem, explain your options, and fix it right the first time with craftsmanship and care you can feel good about. We're not just here for a quick patch job, and we never will be. We're here to make sure your home stays protected season after season. So when it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, choose the company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Don't settle for ordinary this summer when adventure awaits. Make memories that will last forever only at your Columbus Zoo and Aquarium, Central Ohio's family destination for fun. Plan your perfect summer trip at columbuszoo.org.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and so are the summer savings at RCD RV. Don't miss RCD RV's summer kickoff sale running June 7th through the 21st. New RVs starting as low as $12,995. Now's the time to make a splash this summer. Hurry in. Those deals will not last long. Find unbeatable savings, unforgettable fun, and everything you need to hit the road at rcdrv.com. Visit our locations, Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala, or shop online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Austin and Berm are back with a new daily podcast, the ultimate OSU football insiders. You know, it's refreshing to have some smart people working here from time to time.
The Beat with Austin and Berm on the 10 TV Plus app.
Subscribe today.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center. It'll be muggy and mild to start, but then clouds increase, and we also have chances of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. If it's not raining, you'll have mostly cloudy skies and our highs in the 80s. And then for tonight, overnight lows down into the 60s with chances of showers and storms developing. Some could be on the stronger side. And for Friday, we still have chances of rain and storms in the forecast. Otherwise, skies will be cloudy and highs in the low 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast. T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
One of these men is bald and fat. The other is T-Bone. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Not anymore. You guys are gonna have to change all the promos when it comes to that. Tyvis got his procedure this week. Have you guys talked to T-Bone about it? Is he interested or no? He's just accepted it. He's
what? That he's bald? He has no intentions on ever getting hair back.
Good for him.
He said he said when you look at him, he built this. It took time to build what he has as far as his size and the baldness, and he loves who he is. He's comfortable in his skin.
Good for him. Bald is beautiful. I'm happy for him. It's Matt Fontana in this morning for T-Bone and Tyvis. We're talking Ryan Day yesterday, speaking with ESPN. He wants the 4 automatic qualifiers for the Big Ten. Is that the right thing to do? And we've got some schedule changes for the Buckeyes, and I want to discuss with Tyvis how this whole automatic qualifier college football playoff, how that can change things on how you end up scheduling things out in the future for all the college football teams, but certainly for Ohio State. But Tyvis, there's only one place to go. I'm not going to lie. I hit a nice little one last night on the Guardians, getting it done against the Yankees.
Look at you.
What did I say? I said head to the Oilers, Heart to the Panthers. You go head. They get it done in overtime. You got the NBA kicking off tonight. There is only one place to go to get those wagers in.
And that one place is Prom Sportsbook, Ohio. But while they're bringing you this massive welcome deposit match offer, the deal is if you deposit $400, they will give you $400 in bonus bets. And you can use these bonus bets at any time. They are valid for the entire year. So with all these events coming up, if you deposit today, you can still use it all the way into the end of this year. Now, this offer is only for first-time deposits only, and that can expire anytime. So hurry and download the Prom Sports Ohio app or visit promsportsbook.com to get started. It literally costs less to bet with Prom Sports Ohio. Want to bet? Download Prom Sports Ohio. I tell you what, I was looking at the lines today. The Pacers, if you like the Pacers have been sneaky. They won a lot of game ones in their series. If you feel like they can do it, plus 355 right now. If you like OKC, they're minus 435. And then another interesting one I seen was Tyrese Halliburton over/under set at 17.5. Now, if you believe in Lou Dort, the torture chamber, take him on the under. The under is minus 107. But if you think Tyrese is special and he's just having a magical postseason, take him on the over at 117. But I tell you what, additional terms and conditions apply. You must be 21 and older and present in Ohio. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Please always play responsibly.
I love the door. Yeah, that is a tough one.
The torture chamber.
The torture chamber. And dude, he locks down Donovan Mitchell like nobody's business.
Yeah, if anytime they're going against the Cavs, you take Donovan on the under every single time.
Yeah. You know, my favorite thing to do in Prime, I know they have this, like when you do points, rebounds, and assists. So it's like anytime your guy touches the ball, you're like, do something.
Do something.
With it. Do something with it. Do something with it. We'll be all right. We'll be all right on this one. Ohio State doing some things yesterday when Ryan Day, he sat down and he spoke to ESPN about the automatic qualifiers and is kind of, I assume, echoing what the Big Ten is saying, that they want 4 automatic qualifiers. As this all goes on and the fight is going to be on between all the conferences to shake out and figure out what they're going to get and what they want. Big Ten, Ryan Day, we want the 4. Now, there was other news about Ohio State yesterday as the team announced that they are going to host Navy in their 2029 season opener for both teams. It's going to be their first meeting since, I remember this game too, back in 2014.
Oh, my God. Remember it. I was there. I played it.
I was going to ask you, how's that triple option?
Oh, I can't.
How's the triple option?
Damn the Navy. It was, but you know what? The good thing about playing the Navy is when you got to play them game 1 because now you got all the training camp to like prepare for it.
Get ready.
Man, it was, so we had to do them cut block drills every day. It was, that triple option. You could get lost in there. So we just tackle everybody. Everybody's assigned a player, just tackle everybody.
Just run. I'm assuming you ran probably more getting ready for that or in that game than you might have ever for a game.
I think they threw like maybe 2 passes the entire game. I went out there, Matt, my fingers was taped because I already knew that they wasn't throwing the ball, so I didn't need no gloves. Fingers taped. It was the only time in my career that I was able to do that.
Tyvis Powell, linebacker for that game, by the way. I don't imagine there's much deep safety coverage needed for that one. So Navy, Ohio State kicking it off in the 2029 season. And they made a couple other changes as well. They had to move the Nevada series back, so that'll be starting in the 2023 season. They had a non-conference with Youngstown State as well. That, of course, will be at the shoe on September 15th, 2029. And they also have one more non-conference game that they still need to schedule out. That'll be in 2030. So they still have, and again, these schedules are always done, and sometimes things can change. How many, teams are on this schedule? You go, wow, and then it never actually comes to fruition. But, Tyvis, I thought it was interesting to kind of jump off of that and talk about how do you think that's going to change when the conferences figure out, are we getting 1 or 4 automatic qualifiers? Because the easy thing would be is if you're Ohio State, you're in the Big Ten, you're never going to leave the Big Ten. And, at least I say that. I don't know how things will go. But, I assume that they're never going to. And you're going to get the 4 matchups like we're all excited about with Ohio State, Texas coming up. You don't need it. You don't need it anymore. You need a solid conference schedule, which, again, on any given year with 18 teams now, you assume there's going to be multiple top 25 matchups, let alone the future of the conference championship with a whole nother conversation to get to. I'd assume that if the Big Ten got 4 automatic qualifiers, Ohio State no longer would need strong out-of-conference opponents. And I just think that hurts the product. I don't like that.
Yeah, I think that T-Bone actually brought this up, and I thought he was pretty spot on with this. He said something like, each team, like in a Power 5 conference, they should do 9 conference games, and then for the 3, at least one of them should be against another top conference. So somewhere in the Power 5, you would have to play the opponent, and then the other 2 can be the cupcake games, the MAC or the FCS or whatever schools you want it to be. But I think that if you do that, now you got 10 games that you can measure these teams off of. That's about equal as far as the schedules go. I know some conferences are more powerful than other, like Big Ten and SEC, but still, to have those and everybody play 9 of their conference games and then play that one Power 5 school, now you're saying the strength of schedules is kind of similar. They're kind of close. I know some schools won't play, the best teams in some of these other Power 5s, but to still say that they played a different conference and was able to win that, I think you're able to judge them a little bit better, on the scale of whether or not they are deserving of that playoff spot. So I think that, it shouldn't go away because it's one game. And like I say, with this, you can lose 2 games and still get in. So if you're dominating your conference and you lose the one out-of-conference game, like, you're still fine. You're still going to still make the playoffs. So, and on top of that, these TV providers, the reason that they was able to pay all this money is because they wanted to have those ratings. This is a way that you can also feed them, give the fans the things that they want to see and help their viewership go in, because people want to see these Power 5 matchups go against each other, especially the Big Ten and the SEC.
And that's where I'm open to kind of what T-Bone was bringing there, too, and people have brought up. You force them to do it with the conference crossover. Like, we see that in college basketball where it's like the showdown, right? It's always the, Big Ten or ACC showdown or things like that. If you said every year, and that would require, a commitment and a pact between the SEC and the Big Ten, which might just be one more step forward to them just leaving altogether and saying, we'll just do this on our own, see you later. But if, you came together and you said, yeah, we're going to sign this for the betterment of college football, for all the TV contracts and that, and you just rotate. In 1 year, you're going to get Ohio State, Alabama. I know we got that anyway coming up, but it's like you're going to get Ohio State, Georgia. But then another year, it's going to be Ohio State, Vanderbilt. And they might be up at that time. They might be down. You never know. And I just like it. The only thing that I think would hurt it is, what if that's a rematch? Then you're going to have to piece together once you come to the college football playoff again. There's going to be this giant puzzle of putting together who's playing who, and you already are going to have to avoid in conference Ohio State not playing Indiana, Ohio State not playing Oregon, things like that. And now if you got to add twists of, well, yeah, but, darn it, they already played Texas, or they already played this SEC school, and now we got to move that off. It's a good problem to have, and I don't think anybody would really be up in arms if we got a second Ohio State-Texas matchup, in the college football playoff.
Especially whoever loses it, they would love to get their redemption. That's how people felt about Oregon last year. We lost to Oregon, but everybody was fired up for the Rose Bowl because it was a chance to redeem themselves.
Yeah, no, I 100%. And there's so much to get into how it's going to be set up as well, and interesting conversations to come. All right, we got Clip That, and a giant change could be coming to baseball, one that I think we've all been waiting for. We'll tell you in 2 minutes right here on T-Bone and Tyvis.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Thursday. We are noticing our first crash of the morning. This is going to be just north of Gahanna, I-270 southbound at Easton Way around the Wexmore area. 2 left lanes are still blocked in that area. Looking at the drive times are still pretty good. As more people head into work, though, this could cause some issues. Taking a closer look at our traffic cams, 270 at Morse Road there. We do see a car in the grassy median there. The crew members are on scene trying to clean up the situation and make sure everyone is okay. We will let you know about any updates throughout the morning. I'm 10 TV's Brain Albizu with your fan traffic.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak high. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Oh my God, is this your house?
This is the humble abode.
Oh my God, it's so humble.
FX presents Adults.
You don't know your social security number?
No, I do. It's just my mom, knows the whole thing.
A new comedy about 20-somethings achieving zero anythings.
What is the worst that happens?
I go broke. I can't pay my loans. I start an OnlyFans, but only you guys subscribe.
I can't do OnlyFans.
Yeah, you wouldn't make it on there, so sorry.
FX's Adults. Wednesdays on FX. All episodes streaming on Hulu.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Listen to that! Son of a... That's unbelievable! Oh my goodness! Holy smoke! Just incredible!
T-Bone and Tyvis present Clip That.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Receive a 100% match when you deposit up to $400 with the Prime Sports Ohio app.
That's how it sounded for some Oilers fans last night, sitting there, oh my, how did that happen? Because they got it done.
Turns and gives it up. Beautiful pass. McDavid in front. One time and score! Leon Draisaitl! 4-3! Edmonton in overtime!
Hockey calls are always the best. That was the Oilers radio network right there on it. And a little... I guess apropos, if you will, that Leon Draisaitl gets it done because he didn't score at all in the playoffs, and Oilers fans last year, and Oilers fans were very upset about it. He comes back. They take a 1-0 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals. T-Bone and Tyvis this morning. Right here on The Fan, I'm Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone. He's Tyvis Powell. And everybody that, I know there's a lot of people out there that are big hockey fans, and I'm a giant Blue Jackets fan. I've been literally since day one. One of my earliest sports memories is watching the first ever Blue Jackets game. So I've been a fan since day one, and I think the NHL, Tyvis, is like that electricity. It's one of the few sports that actually, I feel like comes through the TV when you watch it. You can see the excitement, you can see the electricity, and especially when you have a Stanley Cup Finals game that goes to overtime, you've got the stars on the ice that you do. For a game to go down the wire like that and for it to play out that way, it's awesome. It was fun. I didn't stay up for the end of the game. I saw the clips this morning, and I was like, go figure, because Draisaitl scored the first goal for the Oilers too, and for him to get in overtime and kind of, exercise some of those demons that he had from last year, good for him. And it's like I said, that was a start that they needed for this playoffs, or for the finals, and it was a lot of fun to see the clips of it this morning.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at it right now, and Connor McDavid set him up with a nice 1-T for the game winner. It was nice. You're right. I was able to go to my first Blue Jackets game, and, man, the atmosphere
fun?
That you it just was unbelievable experience for me. So I can only imagine playing for the Cup, what it would be like there. Then you see all the fans outside going crazy, for the game winner and things like that. Yeah, hockey is, man, if you haven't been into it, it is nice, and you will love the atmosphere. And it's crazy because I wonder if a lot of Columbus Blue Jackets fans root for the Florida Panthers because of, the players that used to play for the Jackets that plays now for the Panthers. Or are you a Connor McDavid fan? Connor McDavid is one of the best in the game as well. And, you want to see him win the Cup as well. So it's really, I'm interested to see how torn people are. Maybe they aren't torn. Maybe they have loyalty to one, or maybe they could care less. Maybe they're like, what, the Blue Jackets aren't in it, so I could care less.
Yeah, it's hard, because as a fan, I'll speak to it. I know we put it out on Twitter at 971 The Fan, and we were asking people more of just call your shot. if it was going to be the Oilers or the Panthers. And I think, when you talk about Sergei Bobrovsky, he is without a doubt the best goaltender in the history of the Blue Jackets. Like, I loved Mark Denis. I liked Steve Mason. And I'm a big Elvis Merzlikins fan. So I get some things figured out there, but I'm a believer in him. But, like, without a question, he's the best goalie in team history. And it's like that era ended. I didn't blame him for moving on because that era kind of ended with Panarin moving off and the same thing. And I do really believe the Jackets are on their way back up here to go. So it's like, I don't look at it for Florida, and I really actually don't think about Bob. That's weird for me. Like, I don't and it's not like I'm anti-Sergei Bobrovsky of him winning a ring. Not that he already didn't, because they did. But, like, I don't look at him, and I just don't have it either way. I don't really care if he wins one or if he doesn't. And then, with Edmonton, there is a little part of me that wants that payoff of how good Connor McDavid is.
Yeah.
And how good that team is. Like I said, we talked about yesterday. My head tells me the Oilers are going to win the series. My heart says the Panthers, just because a guy I used to work with early in my career is now the play-by-play guy for the Panthers. So I want to see Doug win one more than probably anybody. But I do think the Oilers are going to take it. And, you mentioned the playoffs. Like, you said you've been to a Jackets game before, and I've been to a lot. I can't wait for a Stanley Cup final. We've had playoff games, and I'll tell you this too, Tyvis, and I'm sure you know this, but, like, Columbus is legitimate one of the best hockey towns in America.
Yeah,
like,
I've learned that this year from the Stadium Series this year to me actually getting down to Nationwide and catching the game. Man, I was like, y'all love them Jackets down here.
Can I tell you what happened with me in the Stadium Series, man?
Did you make it?
No. So here's what happened, bro. They announced it, and I can't tell you, I went through the roof. I was like, I cannot miss this. Like, I will be there. We get our Florida trip plans to go see the in-laws who snowbird. My wife goes, we got 2 weeks we can go. This 1 week, this kind of hurts me for work. This other week, you don't get to go to the Stadium Series. So, like, how do you go to your wife who is, you tell her you're going to be hurt for work. You're going to be hurt. This hurts you for work. Like, they had big meetings, and she was supposed to be in the office, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, so then, like, the heartbreak. My brothers all went. My brother took his now wife. They just got married last week.
Oh, congratulations to them.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a fun time. She had my ticket. So all they did while I'm sitting in Florida was just send me pictures incessantly of, like, this is where they literally send me a picture of an empty seat, and they go, that's supposed to be you. That's supposed to be your seat.
You know what the crazy thing about it is? So that was my first ever, like, hockey experience. Like, going to a hockey game was the Stadium Series. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, all right, I know hockey's popular, but there's no way they're going to sell out the shoe. Like, there's like, it's the shoe. Like, I don't know if it's that many hockey fans. When I seen that the shoe was full like it was, and it was loud and proud, I was like, man, this hockey is big down here in Columbus.
And I'll tell you this, getting over to Nationwide for a game too, that's because it was purpose-built to be, a lot of places are basketball and they have the hockey. No, like, that place was built to house hockey.
Yeah. And
I've sat everywhere. I've sat behind the bench. I've sat in a corner. I've sat up. I've sat down. The only thing I haven't been to is a suite at Nationwide. But
I was actually in the suite for my only time at Nationwide.
Yeah, it's such a cool arena. It's so good. And, dude, I've been to Saturday games. I've been to Tuesday night games randomly, and it's packed, and it's awesome to see. So, like, I can't wait for the Blue Jackets. We'll get there one day with them with a lot of fun. But it was great to see, the opener. And then tonight we get the opener on the NBA side of things. It's a great time. All right, I love to be able to say this because I've been waiting for this. Baseball exploring Robo umps. So Rob Manfred, speaking to The Athletic yesterday, said that for 2026, they are going to propose to go to the Robo umps. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It doesn't mean that, like I said, it just they're going to propose the automated ball strike challenge system for 2026. And it's basically not every call is going to go that way. This is what it is. Not that there's going to be a robo ump and you're sitting there and you're like, oh, ball strike, ball strike. It's just that when I'm up to bat, pitcher throws a pitch, they call it a strike, and I think it was a ball. I turn, tap my head, and I say, challenge that. They will go to the instant screen, and it'll tell if it's a ball or a strike. You can do that, I think, once and at bat moving forward. And I think it is an eventual step, Tyvis, towards the full-on Robo umps, which I'm for. I was against for such a long time.
I can't believe you right now.
I know, bro. I played baseball my whole life.
You letting the AI take over.
I go, it's part of the game.
That's what I'm saying.
It's part of the game that an ump has a strike zone, and he calls it on. And again, I was a catcher for most of my life, so the umps, you would know, hey, man, we can't throw it outside today because he ain't going to call it, or trust me, I'm playing in some leagues. This ump sucks, and he doesn't know how to call curveballs. Don't throw him because he can't see him. That's part of the game. It's the nuance that I love. Tyvis, dude, people have beaten me down because every game, there's these still frames now of just blatant, obvious. So I guess I'll tell you this. I do like that maybe this is the step that is needed on just the egregious calls for the batter to be able to challenge, and we don't go full Robo ump on this. Maybe this is the system that they need to implement. I'm just excited that we can try to maybe take some step forward to help the game here a little bit.
I agree with the egregious calls, but I'm not a fan of slowing the game down. I mean, that's why they implemented the pitch clock so they can speed things up. And to me, I feel like I've liked that. I know it took some some adjustment and getting used to, but I like it now. And I feel like probably at every once a bat, I'm gonna challenge it just because, just to try to use that. And that's just gonna slow the game down. But if you're gonna use it for egregious calls, that's really when you need it. Calls that can win or lose the game, that's when it's needed for. Outside of that, umps are humans. They're gonna get some right, they're gonna get some wrong, but that's just part of the game.
It is, and that's the adjustments that made it so much fun and really what baseball was kind of built on. All right, speaking of building up, Jim Schwartz, he's building up one of his best players because Myles Garrett in for a big season, and the Browns defensive coordinator says it might be his best season yet. We'll discuss that, get into it coming up. T-Bone and Tyvis here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Thursday. We are noticing our first crash of the morning. This is going to be just north of Gahanna, I-270 southbound at Easton Way around the Wexmore area. 2 left lanes are still blocked in that area. Looking at the drive times are still pretty good. As more people head into work, though, this could cause some issues. Taking a closer look at our traffic cams, 270 at Morse Road there. We do see a car in the grassy median there. The crew members are on scene trying to clean up the situation and make sure everyone is okay. We will let you know about any updates throughout the morning. I'm 10 TV's Brain Albizu with your fan traffic.
Rates as low as 5.54% APR and a $400 cash bonus when you refinance your auto loan with BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit bmifcu.org/refinance.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place. Leslie, what's that hot lamp against your window for?
Pella windows are tested up to 160 degrees Wilson to ensure efficiency and the lowest energy bills possible, even in the craziest of temperatures. Put your hand on there.
All right. God, that's hot.
On the window, Wilson.
Oh, hey, that is quite nice and cool. So I'm going to go grab some ice now.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rated #1 for innovation at PellaColumbus.com.
Earn $200 when you spend $2,000 in the first 90 days with a new Visa from Kemba Financial Credit Union. Plus, pay 0% APR and balances transferred in the first 90 days for 15 months. Visit Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. APR equals annual percentage rate. Offer ends June 30th, 2025. Equal opportunity lender.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and, of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
The Buckeyes are national champions. And you listen to it all right here on The Fan. And next year when they do it again, it'll be here on The Fan. And the year after that, well, you know the drill. Always and forever, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan. We are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
One of these men was prom king. It was T-Bone. I swear to God, you think I'm lying, don't you? But I'm serious. He didn't always look like this, okay? Here's the prom king and Tyvis.
Myles Garrett wanted a trade, didn't get traded. Got one of the biggest contracts in NFL history, and his defensive coordinator says, well, he might have to live up to that contract. It's T-Bone and Tyvis. I was not a prom king. I got nominated for homecoming court in college. Didn't get it.
Well,
Didn't get it.
That's more than me, because in high school, I did not go to prom because I decided to take my talents down to Columbus early in January, and I just thought it would be pointless. Like, why would I? Listen, it's prom every day down here at Ohio State, and you ain't even got to dress up. So why on earth would I go back to my high school to go to prom? It made no sense to me. I told my mom to take that money and splurge.
Yeah, it was okay. Like you said, I went to prom. It was fine. I look back on it, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, my parents had to pay a lot of money. Tux rental, not cheap. I did have a job at the time, but, like, Tux rental, not cheap. Then the whole thing, you had to match your tie. Like, the girl I was dating was the one I took to prom. And she's like, well, it's a salmon color. I was like, close enough. She's like, no. Like, I had a number. Bro, I had a number, like a pallet number that I had to go to the store and be like, I don't need just a tie. I need tie number 67842. I need that color. Thank you very much. Like, off to the races. It was fine, but T-Bone, we're going to have to try to fix that up, that neither one of us were the prom king in high school. Myles Garrett, though, he's ready to go for this season, and he's not at OTAs. And Tyvis, I know you cover the Browns. You're up here as much as I am with everything. And it was such a conversation about, he's not at OTAs, and he's not there, and he signed this contract, and he made all that. I didn't make a big deal out of it. Myles Garrett's one of the best players in football. He shows up and goes to get after the quarterback. I don't care what workouts he's showing up to in the offseason. I just don't.
Correct. I mean, I think that the one thing is this. As a Browns fan, as a Browns player, as a Browns employee, have you ever in your life doubted that Myles Garrett would not be Myles Garrett when the season starts? He's going to show up. He's going to do what he's supposed to do. He's one of the most feared defenders in the game right now. And it's not like Myles doesn't work out. I mean, look at the guy. Like, if he come in here, you look at this guy and now he look pudgy or he look like the pole doughboy or something like that, then all right, maybe we could be some concerns. But this dude is a freak of nature. I mean, this dude is built like a Greek god. Why would you ever question whether or not he's going to be ready for the season? So him missing OTAs, that doesn't bother me at all. You know, the thing is, the defense is not going to change. It's going to be they still have the same defensive coordinator. They still have pretty much the same lineup. They all have chemistry with Myles and knows how Myles is going to play. And if anything, it's just like what I said with Pittsburgh. The big question mark is who's the other edge rusher? Who's your other pass rushers? Well, Myles not being at OTA gives those guys an opportunity to get better and gives those guys a chance to be seen by the coaches. So when the season comes around, the coaches can be like, you know what? I remember this guy in OTAs. He really flashed during OTAs. Let's get him a look in these preseason games. Let's get him a look when the regular season starts. So that Myles is actually doing his teammates, as far as the edge rushers, a service.
And Jim Schwartz was speaking yesterday, Browns defensive coordinator, and he brought up a Spider-Man quote. Like, I know Myles really into the anime and superhero things, and he said, with great power comes great responsibility. And Schwartz said, I really think Myles is going to have the best year of his career. With that big contract, the notoriety that comes with that, the process it took to get him to that point, there's always pressure in this league, but probably a little bit more so. And I think that brings out the best in players, and I know that will be the case with Myles also. That was Jim Schwartz talking about Myles Garrett. And, you know, Tyvis, I would imagine the same thing. Like, Myles has always struck me as a guy that does just want to be the best, you know, and knows that he has been gifted some things. And he's worked his butt off to get there as well. But, like, he just has gifts that not many other people have. He's taking advantage of those. And he's got this contract now. So I get what Jim Schwartz is talking about, but I also feel like this is a guy that just wants to go out there and sack the quarterback as many times as he can and play as well as he can, regardless of what contract he got.
Yeah, I mean, Myles is the one thing is I understand that, you know, now that he signed this contract, they're expecting him to be this leader. And I don't think he's a vocal leader. I just don't. I think Myles is just one of those guys that you just know he's going to show up and do what he's supposed to do. But as far as, you know, holding others accountable, I feel like he could do that. And I feel like that's the step that he needs to take. Like, he needs to make it known to other players how important this is to him, like how important winning games are, how important this season is. He needs to get them to understand that I need you to go just as hard as I'm going if we're going to be successful. And that's the part of Myles that I want to see. And I can't say he do or don't do those things because I'm not in that locker room, but, you know, sometimes it comes off like that's not the case. But if he really wants to be challenged as a leader, like that to me is the part that he needs to take, is getting the other guys to take it as serious as he's taking it. Because it's like, if not, it's going to be like, to give example, it's like the Cavs with Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell right now, if you look at the Cavs, he's the only one to me that comes off like, I have to win. Like, we have to win. I don't care about none of the accolades. I just want to win. To where the other guys are like, you know, I'm still young. You know, I still got time to develop. I still got years. To where Donovan is getting towards the end of his prime. You know,
one more time. So I don't mean to jump in because you're so right. I want to throw this in there too. Or Donovan will take care of it. He's that guy. Like, I'm going to step back and let him go ahead and take care of it.
And that's how the Browns are with Myles. Myles will make a play. No, like, I need other guys to come in and make plays as well. So for Myles, if I wanted to challenge him this season, that would be what I would challenge him. How do you get the other guys to go with you? How do you get them to buy into the fact that y'all need to be the number one defense again this year?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It starts with him, but it doesn't end with him. They're going to need the other guys to step up and get after it. All right, Ryan Day speaking to ESPN yesterday. He wants the 4 for the Big Ten. Back to that discussion. Should it be 4 for the Big Ten, or is just 1 enough? I'm going to make the case for the 1. Tyvis and I see eye to eye on this. I'm going to make a case about why I think 1 is plenty for the automatic for the Big Ten and why that is important to Ohio State. Comes your way next right here on The Fan. T-Bone and Tyvis.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, good morning to all of our folks over in Grove City. If you're making your way out the door, your commute is looking just fine. 270 eastbound, 71 northbound and southbound, all looking great. A little bit slower on 62 eastbound at 32 miles per hour. Nothing too concerning as of now. As for your drive time southbound, that's looking pretty good as well. 71 south, Frank Road to 270, got you at 2 minutes. 270 south, Broad Street to 70, only got you at 6. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu with your fan traffic.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This summer, elevate your backyard barbecue game with Napoleon Grills from Billiards Plus in Dublin. Experience the power of Napoleon's infrared sizzle zone, reaching up to 1,800 degrees in just 30 seconds for that perfect steakhouse sear. Stay connected with the Napoleon Home app. Monitor up to 3 temperature probes, all from your smartphone. Built to last with premium steel, the grilling season never ends with Napoleon Grills from Billiards Plus. Visit Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin and transform your patio into a gourmet grilling paradise.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, a medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring is here, and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get your mulch ready for the season. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Whether it's mulch, soil, or even stone, we've got your yard covered. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your garden with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
We could tell you what makes Giant Eagle special, but we think our customers say it best.
I love the fresh produce. I love the fresh meat.
I'm pretty sure the fish guy knows me by now. We're buds.
I love to grill. That alone keeps me coming back.
The people that work here are so nice and so helpful.
Everybody loves the cakes from Giant Eagle.
On every shelf, in every department, we're always going for better because being your Giant Eagle matters.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
He shoots, he scores! It's a great time of year to be a fan, but the fun stops when you or a loved one can't control your gambling. Maryhaven is here to help with in-person, virtual, and group options. Learn more at maryhaven.com.
If you've ever sprained a thumb because you can't get this dumb garage door to open, we are Deluxe Door Systems. For 30 years, we've fixed crappy garage doors, straightforward, honest, and for less than you think. DeluxeDoorSystems.com.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows, binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on Warm Weather Vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take a shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5HEshot.com for full details and rules to enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.
Evan Cohen here. When you're on a business trip, you know what goes completely off the rails? Your workout routine, especially when you book a hotel that doesn't have a gym. Then you have to squeeze in between the desk and your bed, eke out 2 push-ups, and call it a day. If you just stay at La Quinta by Wyndham, you'll discover their fully equipped fitness center at every location. Now you can wake up and do some weightlifting to prepare you to carry your team on your back all day. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Buddy Wells. Trailing 3-1 early in the second period, the Oilers rallied to even the game at 3-0 in the third and force overtime. And with just 31 seconds left in the overtime period, Leon Draisaitl's one-timer sends Edmonton to the 4-3 win in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. They'll play Game 2 in Edmonton on Friday night. Baseball from Wednesday, the Reds were drubbed by the Brewers 9-1 in the series finale. Milwaukee now has 12 straight series wins over the Redlegs. Meanwhile, in the Bronx, the Guardians jumped out to a 2-0 lead just 7 pitches into the game thanks to a 2-run shot by Angel Martinez, and the Guards would go on to blank the Yankees 4-0. Cleveland aims for the series win tonight at 7:05. And in the Women's College World Series, Texas beats Texas Tech 2-1 in Game 1 of the Best of 3 series. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Are you swimming in debt? With rates as low as 8.99% APR, you can save your summer with a debt consolidation loan with BMI FCU.
The next time Tyvis hits a home run in softball will be the first time Tyvis hits a home run in softball. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
It's just a number, right? How many automatic qualifiers for the Big Ten? 4, 1, does it really all matter? Well, to Ryan Day it does, because he spoke to ESPN yesterday, and he says he thinks 4 is the right answer. T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan. I'm Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this week. He, of course, is Tyvis' pal. So Day's sitting down with ESPN, and I believe it was Adam Rittenberg that wrote the article yesterday. And Day said, we're in the Big Ten, we have 18 teams, and we have some of the best programs in the country. I feel like we deserve at least 4 automatic qualifiers. So we know that this is going to be a contentious point coming up here on the expansion on the college football playoff. And, you know, if the SEC and the Big Ten get 4, and then it would go 2 each to the ACC and to the Big 12, and then it would be a group of 5 champion, and then you fill it out kind of from there, and you go off to the races of how this is going to lay out. The other thing is just a straight 5 and 11. 5 conference champions, 11 at-large bids. And Tyvis and I both think, or I've always felt, Tyvis, that I think 5 and 11 is enough. You kind of mentioned, like, do you feel like you've come around to that, or you've always kind of had that same feel that 5 and 11 was the best format for this?
No, it was a coming around.
You came around
because
okay.
I was with the Big Ten and the SEC are the best 2 conferences, and they're going to the champion is more than likely going to come out of those 2 conferences. If you did it for the next 10 years, I'd say 8 to 9 of those champions will probably come from the Big Ten or the SEC. You know, given the fact to throw Bodie a bone, I said Notre Dame probably a win 1. You know, that'll be the one team. But
I think they're undefeated as the independent conference champion for like the past 25 years. Good job.
Do y'all win? Bodie, do y'all get like T-shirts or something for like winning?
First off, Tyvis, we don't play for conference championships. We play for national championships. And second off, we actually have had a few 3 and 4 season win seasons in there that I think, you know, whether it was BYU, Army, Navy, maybe even UMass. I don't actually think we have every independence championship in the last 25 years. We probably have most of them, but not all of them.
Well, Bodie, you just got to remember that Tyvis doesn't like Navy. We discussed that earlier. So, like, there's just a conference bias. He doesn't like the triple option with Navy, so the independent conference out there.
Listen, every year people give Notre Dame crap because they always play the service academies, but I feel like every time the Buckeyes play Navy, things get interesting in that final quarter. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't want to bring it up. Was that game not 20-17 going into the fourth quarter? I don't want to say anything.
Listen,
I didn't want to bring it up.
Wait a minute. Listen,
you guys won. You guys got it. We got it.
About that. First of all, it was JT's first start. Joe Thomas Barrett IV was making his debut as a starter. And, things got off a little slow. And you know what? That triple option thing, man, I'm telling you, it gets fatiguing just seeing the same thing over and over and over. It gets boring. So they was able to break some decent runs off on us every now and again. But at the end of the day, the Buckeyes got the dub. That's what matters the most. And I had like 16 tackles in that game. So there you go.
It was not Tyvis' fault. And you guys held him to 17. So, I mean, that's a winning score.
And you know what? They say that any team that plays the Navy, typically the team that plays the Navy and they go on to play a regular offense, they lose. We lost to Virginia Tech the next week. So
next week. Was that Brewer at quarterback?
I don't recall.
Yeah, I remember that.
I try to remember very little about that
game. Fair enough. Well, and it's funny because when we talk about the automatic qualifiers of like, yeah, you're not going to hand one to, again, the quote-unquote independents because, like, Notre Dame deserves it. Tyvis, my thing is the automatic is not going to be needed for the Big Ten. Like, I am such – and I'm going to say it. Like, I'm a bougie Ohio State Big Ten fan where, like, we are in one of the best conferences in college football, 1 and 2, probably SEC Big Ten. Ohio State – even on our down years, are still considered one of the best teams in college football. And I sit here so much and I say, and I know this could come back to bite me in the butt, but I'm just saying, I don't think there's going to ever be a year that Ohio State's not considered. I don't think there's ever going to be a year that the Big Ten is not going to be considered for 4 to 5 slots. So it's like, I don't want to say it's a moot point because I understand what Petiti and what even Ryan Day are pushing for. They want the lock. They want the 4 so they don't have to worry about it. They don't have to think about it. But it's even just coming from a strict Ohio State standpoint, I don't see a year now that it's expanded that you're either not a borderline lock no matter what, or at least in the conversation. That's all I can ask for.
If Ohio State ain't in the conversation, it's going to be some furniture moving down here in Columbus.
Man, you're not going to get it.
So that's never going to be the case.
That's never going to
be. But and I still think about other teams in the Big Ten. Like, there's no point where I feel like Oregon shouldn't be considered one of the best 16 teams. There's no point where I feel like, the Wolverines, if they got their quarterback situation figured, they shouldn't be one of the best. Penn State shouldn't be. Like, so to me, I don't understand why they need the automatic qualifiers when you have teams that's basically, there should be one of the top 16 teams. I think if you take a poll from the last 10 seasons, though, at least those 4 schools probably finished somewhere in the top 16 on the poll. So they would have been in the CFP regardless. I think the Big Ten is fine. I don't know why I get why they pushing it because, like I said, they want to sell those games where you play the 1 and 2 play in the championship and then 3 plays 6 or whatever, 4 plays 5. Like, they want to sell that to viewership. So I get they want to make money behind it, but at the end of the day, you're going to get 4, maybe even sometimes 5 if USC get their stuff together. You might get 5, and I'm with you that if you go with just 4 automatic bids, you may not get 5 because they might be like, no, y'all, we gave you 4. The rest of them goes to the other conferences.
Because what happens one year, let's just say, I'm going to say Illinois, right? Let's say one year Illinois gets an automatic bid, but everybody knows that they're like, you probably shouldn't have made it, but you got the automatic. Then you come back the next year, and you do have 5 teams that legitimately all make it. Everybody's going to sit there and be like, yeah, well, we spotted you Illinois last year. We're not going to give you, Nebraska. We're not going to give you that this year because you got the 4. You got to make do with the 4 that you got. And then the other thing that Ryan Day was talking about this with ESPN as well, where he goes, we basically have the best teams in the Pac-12. Like, we took the best teams out of the Pac-12, so we should get kind of like that conference allotment. And I was like, well, okay, you'll get it because if you go with just the 1 automatic qualifier, here's the thing about the Big Ten. You're cannibalizing yourself. Nobody will care about the Big Ten championship game.
No.
At least if you have the 1. The Big Ten championship game, all these conference championship games are like on a lifeline right now as is anyway, right? But if you have that 1 automatic one, then maybe at least there's some intrigue, right? Let's say something real, and we've seen it before, something kind of fluky happens. And remember when Northwestern was in the Big Ten championship game and everybody's like, well, how the hell did they get there, right?
Well, that was East and West. That'll never happen again.
They're never going to happen again. And that's kind of the hard part of it, where I don't know if the Big Ten would ever put a team in there that wasn't going to go already. But imagine if they did.
But see, this the thing. So say they do the 4 automatic bids, right? And you know how I said that they're going to have 1 versus 2, obviously for the conference champion. So that's 1 spot. And then they'll have, 3 play 6 and 4 play 5. Okay, so my thing is, what if the 5th seed, let's say the 5th seed lost that game, but they finished the season as 10-2. Like, now they're not going to make the playoffs because they lost that game. Like that doesn't make sense to me. To where if they just left it as it is, it'd be 1 less game that they have to play, which is good for the athlete to have 1 less game on their body. That's 1. And 2, they still got a chance to make it. You still got a chance to get 5 teams from your school or your conference in the CFP. So the more we talk about it, the more I dissect it, I'm really leaning hard towards the 5+11. But I do understand why the conferences like the Big Ten and SEC, they want to have those automatic bids because you want to get 4, and then it makes you likely to schedule those tougher games because it's like no matter what, even if we lose these games, we still gonna make the playoffs. So I get it from that standpoint too.
I think it waters it down. There's too much. And in reality, it's interesting that adding more is going to actually, I think, create more problems because you go with the 5 and 11. I'm going to trust that the committee's going to get the right guys in, the right teams in, and maybe I'm asking too much of them. But I just feel like that gives them the power that sometimes they have screwed up and sometimes they have taken advantage of. But I think giving them the right power in this and getting it figured out is probably the best for everybody. Well, I'm excited for this because on Thursdays on T-Bone and Tyvis, you guys like doing the list. I've never done it before. We'll do it. We'll jump into that. Coming your way next right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, we are looking at a new crash happening just northwest of the city, Plain City, just west of Jerome Township, US 33 westbound beyond US 42. The left shoulder is blocked right there. And looking at our traffic cams again, US 33 at US 42, noticing a little bit of slowdowns, but the road is slowly moving along. So just make sure you note that as you step out the door for your Thursday. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Do your good-looking shoes hurt and you don't want to wear ugly shoes? At the Good Feet store, we can help you wear your heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, I got the nicest Google review today. Dewey from Gehanna said, "We cannot believe we are able to get the Pella look and quality at the cost we did."
I got a review too. Listen to this. "These windows were great." Oh boy. For about a year. Looks like I'll need to renew, in quotes for some reason, my windows way too soon. Repeat customer?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Psst. Hey, you. Wouldn't a Diet Coke at 7 a.m. totally hit? You know you can get that from Wendy's for just $1, right? Even you, girl drinking a Fanta on the way to 8 a.m. Pilates class. Any soda you want, any size, just $1. So go get that breakfast soda, you morning menace. But maybe hurry, because it's only during breakfast. Morning soda? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours. Exclusions apply. Not valid in a combo. Prices may be higher in Hawaii.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and so are the summer savings at RCD RV. Don't miss RCD RV's summer kickoff sale running June 7th through the 21st. New RVs starting as low as $12,995. Now's the time to make a splash this summer. Hurry in. Those deals will not last long. Find unbeatable savings, unforgettable fun, and everything you need to hit the road at RCDRV.com. Visit our locations, Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala, or shop online anytime at RCDRV.com.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With TrueHold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease.
TrueHold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since TrueHold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit TrueHold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Tee to Green with Skip Mosick.
Saturday, we'll preview next week's U.S. Open at Oakmont with Beth Major of the USGA, plus SI.com's Gary Van Sickle and former Buckeye Maxwell Moldovan.
Tee to Green with Skip Mosick, Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes are even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see some clouds, mild and muggy conditions to start, but then as we go into the day, clouds will be increasing. And throughout the day, chances of showers and thunderstorms, some which could be on the stronger side. Otherwise, expect skies to be mostly cloudy and highs in the low 80s. Chances of showers and storms continue overnight with lows in the 60s, and then we'll have an unsettled weather again in the forecast for Friday with chances of rain and storms and highs in the low 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
Just a reminder, Tyvis thinks all pizza tastes the same. Also a reminder, Tyvis was born without taste buds. You're listening to Bone and Tyvis.
But you all have food. It's not going to be pizza. Because I'd be interested if Tyvis' pizza rankings, they all taste the same. But we're going to get to food on the list coming up in just a second. It's T-Bone and Tyvis this morning with you on The Fan. And first, before the list, Tyvis got to tell us about our friends at Tri-State.
Yes, my guys at Tri-State Men's Health. If you've been feeling tired, unmotivated, irritable, or just off, it might not just be stress or aging. It could be low testosterone. And here's the best part. You can find out for free at Tri-State Men's Health for a limited time only. Your free appointment includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. Imagine having your energy back, building muscle again, feeling sharp, focused, and motivated. Thousands of guys have made the call. You should too. Energy, focus, drive, it starts with the free low T check. I remember when I was going through this situation, I tell you what, I do a lot, man. I wake up early in the morning. Some days I got to drive to Cleveland, and then you got to come home and you got to be dad, and your kids want to play, and you just don't be having that energy like you used to, and I ended up getting the low T shot, shot in the ace. I call it shot in the ace Friday, so it'll be tomorrow. You get your energy back. I'm able to, do piggyback rides. I'm able to do airplanes, chase the kids around the house, play zombies with the kids. So we're having a really good time, and that's all because I started to get this shot from my guys at Tri-State. So be the next one to do so. Tri-State has 6 locations here in Columbus, 6 locations with 2 of them in Columbus. Quick exit off of 270 in Hilliard. The one I go to is in Westerville. They have an expert staff, and if you're like a lot of man, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. Call them today at 800-900-9654 or visit tristatemenshealth.com.
Let's get to it. I'm excited for my first time. We got the list.
The best, the worst, and sometimes even the dumbest. It's all here on the list.
So we got into this one because earlier in the show, we started talking about morning oats. I sent I sent you the recipe, Tom.
Yes,
so
you did.
got it.
I got it. Appreciate
excited.
you.
It's going to be great. But then I also saw Common and Timmy. They were talking about pancakes and waffles, and if you could only have one moving forward. So I felt like the list was just we were on this crash course towards breakfast items, and rank in the top 5. So I will have to admit to you guys that it's not just food for me. That I did include breakfast items. There's a beverage in there.
Okay.
And it might even be pretty high on my list. So we're going to do the top 5. I'll kick things off at number 5 for me, sausage gravy and biscuits. It should be higher.
Ooh.
I should probably put it higher, Tyvis, but I have such a stacked list. A good thick sausage gravy with that buttermilk biscuit cannot be beat. At number 4, it is one. I feel like everybody's got to put like not a pastry, but like it's got to be something kind of bread-like. So I'm going to go pancakes, and I guess I'm casting my vote of pancakes to be waffles.
Shame on you.
Really?
Shame on you, man.
I don't dislike waffles. I feel like I just eat pancakes more. I just feel like I have more pancakes. So I'm going to go with that at 4. I'm going to go with the standard at 3 of eggs. And I think the answer here is its versatility. I make mean omelets. First job I ever had, by the way. I worked at a restaurant, and I would run the omelet bar on Sundays.
Ooh.
So I got really good at flipping omelets. So, like, I know how to, like, flip the eggs and flip the omelet.
So you do it with no spatula. You just flip it with the pan.
I flip. Well, you got to have a spatula to keep it loose. You know, you got to make sure you got the good butter. You know, 3 eggs always. That's how I do it. And then I will, spinach and a little bit of tomato. But I'll do that for my family on the weekends, or like when we go on vacation, my wife's family, everybody knows that one morning of vacation, Matt will wake up and make omelets for everybody. It's a random skill I have. I don't know why, but I got it. So, it is what it is. So I go eggs at 3 because you can go over easy. You can go omelets. You can go egg sandwich, which is great. Number 2, and again, it should be 1, but I'm going to hold out and tell you why number 1 is number 1. Bacon is number 2 for me. Crispy. Ain't no floppy bacon around here.
Okay.
You better be crispy. I should be able to hold that up.
It should break. When you get it, it should break.
Yes, it should. And number 1 is my beverage. It's coffee because I cannot live without coffee. I could drink iced coffee every single day, even in like the dead of winter. Iced is where it's at, but I had to go coffee 1. So number 1 to 5, coffee, bacon, eggs, pancakes, and sausage gravy and biscuits for me on the list for my breakfast items. Tyvis, pal, your list, please.
Okay, so I don't have coffee because I am not a coffee drinker. I can't stand coffee. I tried it when I was like 6 years old, trying to be like my grandfather, and I said, this is absolutely the worst thing I've ever tasted, and I have not tried coffee since, so that is not on the list.
Bodie, write that down. You guys should do a sampler and lay out 10 different coffee. We can we'll spritz it up. We'll put some fancy stuff in there.
Coffee is not good. Only way coffee's good, you got to put 10 sugars and,
I put a creamer in mine.
in there.
I put a flavor.
But they say the healthiest way to drink it is just black, dark.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Yeah,
there's different roasts. There's different. I list. I want to detract from your list. We'll get you on the coffee one day.
Number 5 for me, I put smoothie, like a fruit smoothie, or you can do a protein smoothie. I am really big on fruit, so sometimes I don't want to just eat the regular fruit like pineapple, strawberries, blueberry. Sometimes I just want to blend it up and put it in a smoothie and drink it that way, which is the same way. Number 4 for me, I put turkey sausage / bacon. Okay. I'm like torn in between. I love a good turkey sausage, but there is no denying some crispy bacon. So I had to put them together. Number 3, grits. I'm a big grits guy. Now, when I was a kid, I hated it. My grandmother used to make grits all the time, and I used to be like, these is not good. As I got older, I realized that if you doctor them up the correct way, you put some salt, some cheese, maybe some bacon bits in it, stir that thing up.
Butter.
Butter.
You got to throw a little vat of butter in there.
It is unbelievably good, and it makes me want some right now.
I taste it because you mentioned the cheese, when the cheese melts to cheddar.
Yeah, the cheddar cheese. Yes.
Yep. You just put it in there. I always go, you go with butter, and then I'll make like a well, and then I'll throw the cheese on top of that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
Man. Number 2 for me, eggs, because I'm like you. Eggs is so versatile. As of lately, I've been doing a lot of scrambled eggs, but back in the day, man, I was a huge omelet guy. I used to only make omelets and eat omelets with cheese, like bacon bits and things like spinach, those type of things in there, but I've regressed off of that. I'm just strictly trying to be scrambled eggs for right now. And you can make a nice egg sandwich as well, which is what my daughter loves when I make. So I have to make those quite often. And then number 1 for me is waffles. I don't know why y'all like these pancakes. Don't get me wrong, pancakes are good, but it is nothing like a good Belgian waffle with strawberries and whipped cream and syrup on top. Oh my gosh.
There's something. I'm going to get to Bodie's list, and we'll come back to this waffle v pancake one, because I'm interested. Bodie, your list, I'm interested if you have one of them on yours.
All right, guys. Yeah, we will get to that. So I'm with you, Tyvis. I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't like it. I don't even really like the smell of it. I don't like anything coffee tasting.
Out,
like I'm so out on coffee, so it's not on my list.
You guys work a morning radio show. What do you mean you don't drink coffee?
You either have the energy or you don't.
Yeah, built different.
See, here's the thing. I have crazy energy. I do, and I do all the time. But there's just something about waking up and that first cup of coffee. It just hits, man. It's so good.
It's a placebo.
I'm going up for another one in a couple of minutes.
It's a placebo. That's all.
I respect
it probably
people.
is.
I really respect people who really love their coffee like you do, Matt. Like, I think it's great that you can wake up and it's like you just have it and it's going to make your morning better.
It's going to make it
I just don't like it, so it's not on my list. All right, guys, I went with bacon at 5. Pretty much echoing everything you guys said there. Bacon's fantastic. You can kind of eat it at any point in the day, but it hits a little different in the morning.
That's true.
I also had smoothie on my list, Tyvis, at number 4.
Smart
Not
man.
something I want every morning. Sometimes I don't need cold every single morning when I wake up, but it's great. Also had eggs there at number 3. Like you guys said, it's so versatile. You can kind of do it in multiple ways and mix it up and whatnot. I had donuts at number 2 because donuts are fantastic. Now, once again, not something you need every morning. It's probably not the healthiest way to start the day.
T-bone to think
nevertheless.
otherwise.
Donuts are fantastic. Never had a bad donut. Krispy Kreme, of course, is kind of number 1 on the list there for me. And then, all right, in the donut category. And then number 1 on my list. So I got a pretty hot take. I don't like pancakes nor waffles. Never really have. Like you can.
You're a French toast guy.
I don't mind. I like French toast, but I don't even love French toast. I don't know. I guess just the bread category, Tyvis. Even though I don't normally agree with your bread takes, in this instance, I guess the wheat flavored sort of things it just doesn't hit for me with that. So I went with number 1 on my list. It's going to be boring to some people, but I absolutely love it. I went with oatmeal. I eat oatmeal every single day for breakfast. And that's my thing. Every day when I get off work here, it used to be when I woke up. Now it's when I get off work because I don't make it in the morning before I come in. When I get home around 10 o'clock or so, that is like my 10 to 15 minutes of peace. I make my oatmeal, I eat that, and then I go back to bed.
I got to send you my overnight oat recipe then. I don't know, you eat them cold or hot?
Typically hot. Yeah, I like them hot. I like making it. For me, that's my coffee for you, Matt. I like making it. I like taking a handful of minutes to make it, put it all together, throw some peanut butter in there.
I just haven't perfected making oatmeal yet. That's why I can't really get into it. Like I've always was a kid was like you got to put the brown sugar in there and all that, but I don't want to do that. Like I want to put just fruit and stuff in there and make it good, but I just can't do it.
See, I think I got spoiled because when I was in college, I tried oatmeal. You know, in college you're running around, and no names, please. But I would do the packeted stuff, and it just wasn't all that good, you know. And I was like, I got soured on it. Then my wife found this overnight oat recipe, which is like obviously it's cold, it's in the refrigerator. I love it. I don't know, something weird. Like I'll drink hot coffee, but I like iced coffee. I will not eat hot oatmeal. I just won't do it.
Oh, you're insane.
But I love cold. I love cold.
I've never had cold oatmeal in my life.
It's like almost like a cereal. Like if you like cereal, I know there's some hot cereals out there, but like I like just cold regular cereal. The quick thing on the pancake v waffle, I would tell you that you can almost do anything with a waffle that you can do to a pancake, and I think pancakes taste better on their own because they're on the griddle.
Where are you at on French toast?
I like French toast. I like all 3. My rankings would honestly go pancakes, then French toast, then waffle.
You are you boy.
Dude, whipped cream, powdered sugar, and fruit. You can do all three on any of those three. It's not specific to waffles.
Plain. Just go. You go waffle, French toast, then pancake.
No. You got to get the griddle's got to be. You got to get the flavor from the griddle, the butter, even a little of the I didn't put hash browns on my list. What am I doing? Breakfast potatoes. Forgot. Man, I'm pretty sure my list. Like, when you put it on the griddle, you got all of the other stuff that's on there, little peppers and onions. They make their way over there to the pancake, and then it's just, so good.
No. Waffle with strawberries or whatever fruit you like, whipped cream and syrup. My.
Throw that on a pancake. The only thing the waffle has are the deep dish pockets, if you will.
That's what I'm saying.
That gets it in
make
there
it all
and
go
gets it
together
going.
perfectly.
Yeah, I get it. But the French toast is absolutely delicious. So I hope everybody's nice and hungry now after doing the list right here on T-Bone and Tyvis. Shedeur Sanders showing it up, man. And I got to poke a hole in something that Tommy Rees said about the Browns quarterback competition. He's their offensive coordinator. Clips aplenty from Shedeur Sanders yesterday. We'll discuss it next right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning to all of our folks over in Delaware County. If you're making your way out the door for your commute, things are looking pretty good. 23 northbound got you great at 53 miles per hour. 71 southbound and northbound right up to par 2. Very smooth for your Thursday. As for your drive times right now, if you're taking 71 south between US 36 to 270, only 10 minutes for you. That's pretty good. 16 minutes, though, US 23 south between 36 to 270. Again, not too bad for your Thursday. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu for your fan traffic.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you. Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
I think I just wrote the song of the summer. Listen. That's just you drinking a big gulp from Speedway. And just 89 cents for any size with Speedy Rewards? That's a hit. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 6/24/25. See app for full terms.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Tyvis Powell helped the Buckeyes win a national championship. T-Bone watched Tyvis Powell help the Buckeyes win a national championship. Equally important. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
All right, you're getting some support over there for both of you guys. Vince Sanity says coffee is garbage. He said he likes to smell, but they said coffee is garbage. We got to just find you guys. I don't mind telling you could put some creamer or some flavoring. But I just think as you guys are doing this morning thing, you got to come around. It's just going to make everything better.
It's not.
It's just going to make everything better.
I've always been the Energizer bunny. You know,
Sure.
As soon as when you wake up in the morning, some people be dragging. When that foot hit that floor, it's like I'm gone all for the rest of the day. It's fume, 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 back and forth. So for me, I've always been like that. I've always been an early riser since I was a kid. I mean, back in high school, I used to work out at 6 a.m. So I've been so used to this that it's like a walk in the park for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, but the coffee, like, there's just something about you get it from like McDonald's that tastes so good, and then there's like you get your order at Starbucks. There's a coffee shop it's scary. There's a coffee shop that I love that's walking distance from my house. Like you just it's the best. We'll get you guys on it eventually. as we go. But getting going at Browns camp yesterday was Shedeur Sanders. And Tyvis, he's been playing well in training, in mini camp. And I know I say that statement, and it's hard to say because it's like they're on air, and he's still learning, and he's doing all this other stuff. But the clips are out there. The praise is out there. And Tommy Rees comes out and he says any one of the 4 starting guys for the Browns could be the guy. So he's the offensive coordinator. He was promoted this offseason for the Browns after they got rid of Ken Dorsey, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and 2 draft picks with Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And Tommy Rees spoke yesterday, and he said, I could see any one of them winning the competition. Now, we kind of laugh because I always say this, Tyvis, like, they're leaning one way. If they had to start a game tomorrow, there's somebody they're going to start. Now, they might be messing with people on the order that they put them out there for camp or what the media sees or what they don't, but they got to be leaning one way. So, like, I believe Tommy Rees when he says, well, any of them could win it, but deep down, there's one guy that they want to win the job.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, we talk about who they invested the most in, then the answer is Dylan Gabriel because he's a 3rd-round pick. However, you can't deny the fact that every report that we see, Joe Flacco is the guy that everybody says just looks really good out there. And the thing about Shedeur is this. We see the clips, We see the clips. We got people from, ESPN Cleveland that's taking stats at practice and letting us know how each quarterback is doing in 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s. And when you see his stat line and see, some of the highlights of him throwing really good passes, it's just like, why is it you can't hold him back that long? And the thing is, it's OTA, so, you got to let those reps roll. You want to get these guys as many reps as possible. And like I say, once camp comes around and those joint practices happen, that's when guys will start to separate themselves. When you go to Carolina and do those joint practices, or you go to Philadelphia and you do those joint practices, that's when the depth chart really starts to change, because now you're going up against other guys. You're going up against different defenses that you don't see every day. And if you're able to make those adjustments, get guys on the same page and make plays and execute in that moment, in that setting, then that means that you're ready for the season. Because you can say what you want about the preseason games. They're as vanilla as possible. I've been there. I've done it for many years. I did it for 4 years. The preseason is very vanilla. You don't call pretty much anything that you plan on calling in the regular season because you don't want it to be on tape. But in those joint practices, you are calling those things because you really schedule some of these defenses or these teams, because a lot of them play maybe a similar defense that you'll see a couple of times during the season. So you want to see right then and there, how can we beat that defense and be successful when we play it in the regular season? So that's why those joint practices are meaningful for offenses.
And I also think about where each of them are starting, right? So you have Joe Flacco, who's veteran, and he's played all these games, and he's been in the Browns system before. You have Kenny Pickett, where the narrative on Pickett is former first-round pick, obviously was in Pittsburgh, won a ring with Philly, all that kind of stuff. Tyvis, there are people saying this is the perfect offense for Kenny Pickett, and they think it really could work for him here. Then you have 2 drafted guys that have actually talked a lot recently about the change going from college to the pros, and even just, shout out to Bo Bishop. He hosts Cleveland Browns Daily with Nathan Zagura, and Bo and Nathan were talking about these guys just for the first time last year knew what it was like to have somebody in their helmet talking to them. Mm-hmm. Before it was, a meme on a card and they hold it up and they go, okay, that's the formation. Here's the play. Like those little nuanced things of getting them up to speed in the NFL, which then eventually and this is what I think Tommy Rees is talking about when any 4 of them can win. It's impossible to have them all on equal footing, right? It's like you want them to run the race, but they're not all starting at the end zone. They're all going to run their 40-yard dash. Joe Flacco's standing out there on the 17-yard line. Kenny Pickett standing there probably on the 5-yard line. And then Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders are starting on the end line, and they got to make that ground up. But I'm not saying that they can't, but I just think that's where, as I view this, it's kind of going that way. So, when I see at practice that Shedeur is playing well and making some right throws, then I'm starting to think okay, maybe he is closing that gap. But it's just, I just wonder how big that gap truly is from him to the veteran guys. And if he has enough even time, like you said, we're going to be in training camp before we're going to be in preseason. That's probably more of an opportunity to close ground quicker. I just don't know if he's going to have enough time to do it.
The interesting thing about all of this is, and I think the thing that everybody, the fan base is growing a little bit of frustration with, is that you see all these clips about how, and you hear all these reporters talk about how good Shedeur has been, yet even again yesterday, I don't think he took a rep with the ones. I don't, but you'll tell me that Dylan Gabriel does, and there's clips of him getting his ball batted down. He's throwing some picks here and there. So why is it that he's able to get reps with the ones, but Shedeur isn't? Like that part to me is strange, because I feel like just in those 2 weeks that it's been, from what we've seen, granted, we don't know the whole picture, and we always have to remember that. We don't know what's going on in the meeting rooms. We don't know what's going on in the weight room. We don't know what's going on. We can only go off of a couple of clips that we see and reporters' reports on what they've seen.
And just the one day they're out there.
Yeah, it's only been out there for 2 days. It was last week, and then it was yesterday. That was the only 2 days that the media got to see. So we don't know exactly what's going on in between those times. But from what we've seen and what we've heard, it's mind-boggling to me that Shedeur hasn't at least taken reps with it. And I know Kevin's come out and said he's done it, a couple of times when the media wasn't around. But why not do it with the media there to see what it looks like? Like, if he's doing this well, I feel like at this point he's at least earned some reps for the media to be able to see him so we can judge him accordingly.
And I don't want to say they're playing games, because that sounds like an accusation, or making it out to be like they're doing this to just mess with people, but there's part of me, Tyvis, that thinks they are. And it's just like,
well, they can't afford to mess this up this year. They have to know definitively at the end of this season, do they have their franchise quarterback?
I agree.
Do they have their franchise left tackle? Those two spots have to be answered by the end of this season with those picks that you have next year.
But, I just think that there's a narrative that they want to control. I don't know what the narrative might be, but they just know that of the days that they're out there right now, they practice 3 days each week. The media's out there for just one. We don't know what they're doing those other 2 days. We don't know. And again, you get to mandatory minicamp, which is coming up, and then training camp when everybody's out there every day. That is what will tell the story. So, I think I see what they're trying to control right now, because they're smart and understand that they know this is where we want to be when we start training camp, because they know the brand that is Shedeur, and they know that the social media and the clicks and all that kind of stuff. Everybody's watching him. Everybody's watching him. And I just wonder if they're trying to maybe pump those brakes a little bit, at least right now, while they can still control the narrative before they get to training camp, when it's just everything's going to be, all hell's going to break loose. Everybody's out there, and they're just trying to find the best quarterback to get it done. Well, speaking of coaches and quarterbacks, we got some new ones. And this was such an interesting list that's put out from CBS Sports, ranking the new coach and quarterback duos set to make their debut in 2025. We'll run through the list, but really, I want Tyvis and I to discuss, who do you think's in the best spot? If you could pick, if you were an owner of a team and they said you could pick any of these coach-quarterback combinations to lead you to a Super Bowl, which one would you take? We'll discuss that coming up. It's T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are noticing a new crash, this one just south of Hilliard. The right shoulder is blocked right now on 270 North, just beyond Roberts Road, again, because of that crash. We're looking at our traffic cams, 270 to Roberts Road in that area. Things are moving along just fine for your Thursday. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Going up. Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up. Going up. But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button. Going down. We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40, period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free Samsung 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores, so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Check out this amazing deal on Kellogg's cereal. Select varieties or buy 2, get 3 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Spring showers revealing roofing or siding issues? Trust the pros at Newman Roofing for expert care, white glove service, and quality you can count on. Schedule your estimate today and take advantage of special financing options. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Listen to this. Wouldn't this sound nice? Clearer skin, better posture, improved digestion, better sleep, and more energy. Just a few of the endless benefits clients have received with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Everybody today in America is trying to get healthy. I'm doing it. You're doing it. There's people out there everywhere. And most people, they don't feel good. And so when you don't feel good, what do? You go to the doctor, there's pills, there's steroids, there's surgery. You don't want to deal with any of that. You don't want to be put on the shelf. You don't want to put things in your body that you do not enjoy. So here's what you need to do. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics, just like I did. My body was beaten up, so was my dad's. We went to QC Kinetics. They're not into the quick fixes. They're going to go there and they're going to diagnose you and find regenerative treatments with your own body's healing power to help heal that damaged tissue. And so you're going to feel better. You're going to be able to do the things you love again, and that's perfect because it's summertime. So listen, they're going to go right to the source of it at the cellular level. So give them a call at 380-208-4544 or go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. They have offices all over Ohio. So go check them out today.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
All your favorite Fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tyvis has a bum wrist from playing football. Bone has a bum wrist from opening the heavy doors at Sheets. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
I do love Sheets. There was one at, talking about one of the jobs I had in high school, there was one at the end of the street every day for lunch. Every day for lunch.
I call Sheets the cheesecake factory of gas stations. They got everything you ever need right up in there.
If they don't have it, you don't need it.
Correct.
If they don't have it, you just don't need it. It's kind of like the show. That's it. T-Bone and Tyvis. We don't have it. These guys don't have it for you every morning. Probably don't need it. All right, we're going to get up to some of the new quarterback and coach combos. And I'm going to put Tyvis on this box. I'm going to run through this list, and he's got to tell me which one he thinks would win a Super Bowl first. There's no guarantee any of them will. But if you had to pick one to get you to a Super Bowl first, which one would you pick? We'll get to that coming up. Speaking of coming up, the inaugural 97.1 The Fan, The Race, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. A 5K run and a 1-mile walk is happening June 21st at Otterbein University in Westerville. Some of your favorite fan personalities are going to be there. Tyvis will be there. Common Man, T-Bone, Riser, and of course, 10 TV's Adam King's going to run the race in a suit and a tie. Every participant gets a finisher's medal, a race t-shirt, free photos, and awesome gifts from Logan Services and Raising Cane's. The inaugural 97.1 The Fan, The Race, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center and sponsored by Impact Health and Wellness, specializing in regenerative medicine, weight loss, and hormone therapy to help define your wellness goals. Sign up today at 971thefan.com. So, there are, shockingly, 13 new coach-quarterback combos in the NFL. So we're almost at half of the league had a turnover from last year to this year, either at the head coach position or at the quarterback position, and there were a couple that you got both of those situations. So they ranked them at CBS Sports, and I'm going to run through the ranking, Tyvis, just so everybody has it, but then I want you to pick the one that you think would actually reach the Super Bowl first.
Okay.
So they say number one is one of those situations that has both the new coach and a quarterback. They think Geno Smith and Pete Carroll in Las Vegas stands above the rest. At number two, it's Dak and Brian Schottenheimer, new head coach there. At number three, J.J. McCarthy, new quarterback with Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. Four are the Bears with new head coach Ben Johnson to go with Caleb Williams. The Jags are at five with Trevor Lawrence and new head coach Liam Cohen. Six, Drake May and Mike Vrabel, the new coach there. Seven, a new quarterback for Mike McDonald in Seattle with Sam Darnold. 8 are the Jets that both get Aaron Glenn and Justin Fields in with the team now. Russell Wilson, Brian Dable are 9. Cam Ward, Brian Callahan, 10. Joe Flacco, quotation marks because he's played quarterback there before, but he's new this year. And Kevin Stefanski all the way down at 11. 12, Mason Rudolph and Mike Tomlin. We can't quite put Aaron Rodgers there just yet. And number 13, Tyler Shuck and Kellen Moore, each new on the job. So again, the team: Saints, Steelers, Browns, Titans, Giants, Jets, Seahawks, Patriots, Jags, Bears, Vikings, Cowboys, and Raiders. It's a lot. It's a lot of teams, a lot of coaches, a lot of quarterbacks. But, Tyvis, if you had to pick one that you think would be the one to ride into the future on, who would you be picking?
This is, first of all, that's a lot of teams to try to dissect.
Dude, half the league with that. I don't know if that's good or bad. I really don't know if that's good or bad. I would lean bad.
So the first one, and people are going to call me crazy, like insane for saying this, but the first one that I probably would pick is probably Trevor Lawrence and Liam. Why?
Really?
Yeah, let me explain.
Please, I'm very.
Because I know everybody's like, people probably didn't swerved off the road hearing me say this. The reason being is because of the conference that they're in, the AFC South. I think that one is up for the taking. You know, if you look at Drake May and Mike Vrabel, well, they got to go up against Josh Allen and them. And then you think about Joe Flacco and Kevin Stefanski. Well, that's probably the hardest one in football. Same thing with the NFC North with the Chicago Bears. So, like, for me, their road is probably the easiest. And that's why I feel like they have the best shot. I know Trevor Lawrence hasn't lived up to the hype, you know, coming out. He's supposed to be the best prospect since John Elway. But Liam coming from Tampa Bay, seeing what they were able to do with Baker Mayfield and how he had this great resurgence. Now that they got a Travis Hunter, you know, they got Brian Thomas Jr., like they got some weapons now. And I think that, you know, with Trevor Lawrence, he was doing this with Christian Kirk. Now, don't get me wrong, Christian Kirk is a great wide receiver. You will never, ever, Matt, hear me disrespect Christian Kirk, because when I was in San Fran and I went up against the Arizona Cardinals, Josh Rosen and Christian Kirk linked up for a game-winning touchdown on yours truly. So to me, they are the best. They like Joe Montana and Jerry Rice to me.
1A and 1B right there on that list.
But they don't have, like, so he had Christian Kirk and he had Evan Ingram. That was like his two big-time guys there. I know they had Calvin Ridley for a season, and he quite didn't get back to who he once was with the Falcons. But now that you got some talented guys at that wide receiver position, I think that's going to help Trevor Lawrence. And with that play calling coming from Tampa Bay, with him being a really good gunslinger, I think that that's going to help them get back to where they want to be. My other part was going to be Dak Prescott, just for Bodie. I was going to do it just for Bodie.
Just for Bodie. just for him, just to throw it in there. I don't know about Brian Schottenheimer.
Yeah, that didn't get you guys fired up. Come on now.
Come on.
He was the OC last year, and they were so good last year that how could you not just fire him?
Got hurt last year.
I know.
They got George Pickens now.
Yes, which either could go
for
very
now.
well
just
or
give it a couple of weeks till he's not getting any passes thrown his way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. It's funny because I am a bit of a Trevor Lawrence apologist because I think he can be good. I just do question Liam Cohen a little bit. Just like a lot of these guys, he's not quite done it before. I didn't really like that hire there necessarily for them. So I'll listen to Jacksonville. The team that I would actually pick, though, and it's because I think I'm jaded, and it's just because of their history, it's got to be Drake May and Mike Vrabel. And I think you're right. That conference, and you got me thinking about that, Tyvis, about the conference, and you're 100% correct on that. But I think Drake May is going to explode this year. I think if Stephon Diggs can be a player that he's been in the past, and they can provide.
Well, he got to stop being on the boat with the pink substances.
Don't know what was in that bag. Power bait. He was trout hunting. That's what or trout fishing. That's what I'm going to believe in. I loved the Travion Henderson selection for them up there. And I think Vrabel, of all of the new hires, is the best one. Obviously, he's done it before, but I just like that hire better than anything. And the only thing that, like you bring up, is the conference they play in the schedule they're going to have to run through. But if I had to pick one to get there, I'm going to go with the Patriots. They know how to do it. I think Drake May is going to explode this season. All right, we're going to get back to college game coming up because Ryan Day, speaking to ESPN, he brought up some things about what he wants to see for the Big Ten. We'll get to that in the 8 o'clock hour. But coming up, Adam Silver, talking about the NBA Finals. He made a comparison. I think he's delusional. Tell you about it next.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Thursday. We are noticing a disabled vehicle happening just southeast of Westerville this morning. The right lane is blocked right now on 71 North, just beyond 270 on the north side, again, because of that disabled vehicle. No major incidents or delays to report because of that. So that is some good news there. I'm 10 TV's Brianne Albizu with your fan traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. TNCs apply. Available in app only.
This summer, elevate your backyard barbecue game with Napoleon Grills from Billiards Plus in Dublin. Experience the power of Napoleon's infrared sizzle zone, reaching up to 1,800 degrees in just 30 seconds for that perfect steakhouse sear. Stay connected with the Napoleon Home app. Monitor up to 3 temperature probes, all from your smartphone. Built to last with premium steel, the grilling season never ends with Napoleon Grills from Billiards Plus. Visit Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin and transform your patio into a gourmet grilling paradise.
Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus and save $40 on any repair of $150 or more. Only at AAA Car Care Plus locations. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer valid through June 30th. See store for details.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
Ever wonder where your go-to maintenance person gets the metal products they need to fix yours and everyone else's problems? The best in the business go to Metal Supermarkets for their wide variety of metal products and shapes to tackle projects from simple to complex. Metal Supermarkets is your source for all metals cut to size and ready fast. No minimum order with maximum service. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or at Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Beds are us when dreams don't end. Beds are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Beds are us when dreams don't end. Beds are us.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Buddy Wells. We'll start with baseball. Yesterday afternoon, the Reds took one off the chin as they lost to the Brewers 9-1. Cincinnati will be off today before hosting Arizona for the first of three tomorrow night at Great American Ballpark. As for the Guardians, a two-run home run by Angel Martinez helped them jump out to an early 3-0 lead in the first, and they rode that to the 4-2 win over the Yankees in New York. Cleveland looks for the series win tonight at 7:05. And hockey, Leon Draisaitl's power play goal in overtime helps Edmonton complete the comeback as the Oilers take Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final 4-3 in OT over the Florida Panthers. They'll play Game 2 of the series tomorrow night in Edmonton. And the NBA Finals will get underway in Oklahoma City tonight where the Thunder host the Indiana Pacers. Tip-off is at 8:30. This update is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware and Pataskala, or online at rcdrv.com. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan.
Tyvis played in some of the biggest stadiums in the world. T-Bone has eaten some of the biggest pizzas in the world. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
NBA Finals tipping off tonight. Two small market teams, but Adam Silver doesn't want to hear that, Tyvis. He's upset with some of the narratives that are out there surrounding the finals between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. Tyvis Powell, Matt Fontaine in this week for T-Bone here on The Fan. And so he's on yesterday with Breakfast Ball, and it was brought up about two small market teams, and there was a metric done, and I'm terrible and trash at math and metrics, so I'm just going to – basically the metric told you that these were the two smallest teams to play in an NBA Finals in like the past 30 years, right? They looked at basically TV ratings and fandom and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's a far cry from the Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks and all these other teams, certainly Golden State. But even like when the Cavs made it, Cleveland's a smaller market. It's not New York. It's not the powerhouses that it's been in the past. And Silver kind of took issue with that. And he made a comparison to say if we were going into the Super Bowl and it was the Packers and the Steelers, everybody would be celebrating that. You wouldn't be talking about Pittsburgh being a small market. And he said it's been intentional to create a CBA that has allowed more teams to compete. I want to talk about the CBA thing in a second. But, Tyvis, this is where Adam Silver lost me, man. You're not the NFL. And you probably never will be. That is so different to say, well, yeah, Green Bay, Wisconsin, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that's not that far off from Indianapolis and Oklahoma City. Like, no, man, you're playing a completely different game. And also, one of the things that I think has helped the NFL build up to be the brand that they are, it's just one game. The Super Bowl is just one game. Your team plays once a week. You have divisional round games that it's just one game for you to advance. Now, basketball and baseball and hockey and all that, yes, they get the series because they can play more, and there's intrigue because you get Game 7 and things like that. I understand where Adam Silver is coming from, but Tyus, you also got to understand why people are questioning if this is actually going to rate well or if people are actually going to watch and the health of the league and things like that. But, like, for him to come out and be like, well, it's no different than the NFL. No, actually, Adam, I think it's a lot different than the NFL because they'll take any two teams to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I definitely would take any team. I think that this matchup I think it's going to be better than a lot of people anticipate. I get that the market thing isn't – because you do want that superstar power, you know, and you're so used to seeing, like, LeBron James and Steph Curry go at it for all these years and you just don't have the big name outside of SGA. And
yeah, that's it.
Like that, it does water it down. And then on top of that, everybody is, what is it, like minus 800 that the Thunder's going to win?
Huge.
So the only reason that people are going to tune in is for the simple fact that the Pacers have done a remarkable job being underdogs and still finding ways to come out and pull these upsets, and they're hoping that they could do it again. Like, that's the only thing. But if this thing goes as it's supposed to go, this will be a poor fight.
And it's like, I'm going to watch because I'm a sports fan, and I'll be interested. I'll place a wager there on Prime Sports maybe for, you know, how it's going to go, even though it's some, like you said, it's going to be big. It's going to be some big favorites in this whole thing. And Silver talking about that they set the collective bargaining agreement up because they want that or they want the new teams. I kind of push back on that. People like dynasties because then you're either a fan of that team and keep it going, but probably more often than not, you wanted to watch the Patriots lose.
Yeah.
You wanted to watch Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green lose. Nobody wanted to see LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh win anything down there in Miami. They became the villains, and everybody loved Dallas when they won that title in that first year that they were down in Miami. When you have this constant turnover, what's the stat now? You have 7 new champions in the last 7 years, I think is what it is, in the NBA, regardless of who wins this. I know Adam Silver's trying to push this to say that that's a good thing. Tyvis, I really don't think that's a good thing for any league, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think I do. As much as I hate it at certain times when it's certain teams, you do like to die. Because it's always nice to be like, my team, like when the Cavs beat Golden State, it was like, my team beat the dynasty. They were the ones to stop that dynasty from continuing to go on. They got over on them, and it was big. And even with the Patriots, when they had their thing going, it was nice to see Eli and the Giants go out there and pull that upset and stop that dynasty, that three-peat and all of those things. So I think for sports fans, as much as we do dislike seeing it at times, it is always we're more inclined to tune into it because of the possibility that somebody might end this dynasty or somebody might beat this. It's like the Chiefs this year. Everybody rooted for the Eagles because they didn't want to see the Chiefs three-peat the thing. Right. And when you look at these two teams, like the Pacers and the Thunder, like there's nobody that you really hate. Like I know Cavs fans probably hate Halliburton, but Like he's a good guy. Like the SGA is a quiet guy. Like there is no egos or anything about these guys. There's nothing really to hate about those two teams, only unless they beat your team in the playoffs. Outside of that, for the national media, like. It's not no villains. There's no villains.
Tyvis, they beat the Cavs. I don't really care if the Pacers win or not. I really don't. Like, I think the Thunder are going to win, but, like, the Pacers, I don't have some axe to grind against them or some villainous take to have against Tyrese Halliburton. Like, that's the problem. I think it lacks some juice in a lot of different areas. It's either, A, it is so new and the turnover is not good. You're right. It's B, there's nobody out there. Like, find me anybody that can hate on Shea. He's the best.
It's nothing to hate about.
Everybody likes him. Nobody. And even, like, okay, there was that people that, all right, Tyrese Halliburton's overrated, and he might have ruffled some feathers on that. Okay, yeah, so what? And here's the other thing that I hate to say about this whole thing, and I don't mean to kind of keep downplaying this because, like, I'm excited for this finals. I'm going to watch. Do you think the average basketball fan could name 4 players on the Pacers? Do you think they could go that deep to get to Miles Turner? You know, could they really sit there and talk about TJ McConnell? Like, they'll learn about them, and I guess that's part of it, of the finals, of these guys could, expose themselves, and people could learn about them. They have a great game and all that kind of stuff. But going into it, yeah, you're just kind of like, man.
I think that obviously when they negotiated this new CBA, the whole plan was to get rid of the super teams because they was tired of people joining up with other superstars and things like that, and they wanted more parity. Well, you're definitely going to get that, but you're going to lack the national attention. Like I am very curious to see what these ratings are going to be because, like I said, for so many years, LeBron went to 10 straight. Steph went to all of these. Kobe went to all these. Shaq, Michael. Like, and when you look at the NBA now, it's nobody like that. There is nobody like that's just that dominant that's going to just continuously take their team there. Because what's going to happen is once you get that superstar that does that, he's going to perform well. And then they got these accelerators in contract to where, like Evan Mobley, he won Defensive Player of the Year, so his contract kicks in a year early, and now all of a sudden now you don't have the money that you're supposed to have in free agency, so now it's going to be hard to re-sign or bring this guy in because a big portion of your salary is going to the 1 or 2 players. So it took away the fact of having these superstar teams, which is why the Celtics, they're going to break up after this season because they can't afford it anymore. So it eliminates all of those that is always going to be a low market. It gives the low market teams, I guess, a chance every year.
See, you're right, but it's also like the low market teams, I think, have always kind of had a chance as long as you draft well and are smart. Like, baseball's different. Baseball, it's just there are teams that can outspend. It's because they have a salary cap. The NBA has that soft cap with the aprons now and luxury tax, and I thought it was doing fine. You know, I call me crazy. I'm a Cavs fan that won a championship. LeBron came back, but, like, call me crazy. You saw some of this. Like, how long has it been since the Knicks have won a championship? Right? How long has it been even for the Lakers? I know they won the bubble one, but it's like I thought the NBA was working. Why they changed it as much as they did, I don't know, but it is the world that we live in. Speaking of the world we live in, Trey Hendrickson, down there in Cincinnati, waiting on his new deal. There's rumors that TJ Watt is going to get his new deal out of Pittsburgh before the season. How that could change for Trey, Tyvis, I got trade offers for you. They went around on ESPN, and they came up with 4 potential trade offers for Trey Hendrickson. Would you do any of them? Are any of these good enough to get him out of Cincinnati? Or do you think the Bengals will finally pony up the dough and get him paid? We'll discuss that next. T-Bone and Tyvis, you're on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good Thursday morning. Noticing a few slowdowns all throughout the metro. Powell, Worthington, Westerville, Grove City even. We're noticing with your commute if you are stepping out the door. 23 southbound looking a little bit slower than usual. We got your drive time at 13 miles per hour, so definitely a lot slower than usual. Just make sure to take it nice and easy on the roads. Not really seeing any accidents right now, but of course that could all change. Stay with 10TV for the very latest. I'm 10TV's Brina Albizu with your fan traffic.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sportsbook. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All your favorite summer flavors are a good deal better at Meijer. Great for the grilled prime cuts of fresh from Meijer pork shoulder butt roast or buy one, get one free. Assorted varieties of General Mills mid-size cereals are $1.99 each. Tender bulk sweet corn is 5 for $2. And select varieties of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce or marinade and Ken's dressing are all 2 for $5. Take time to enjoy the chillin' by the grill good life all summer long with Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and so are the summer savings at RCD RV. Don't miss RCD RV's summer kickoff sale running June 7th through the 21st. New RVs starting as low as $12,995. Now's the time to make a splash this summer. Hurry in. Those deals will not last long. Find unbeatable savings, unforgettable fun, and everything you need to hit the road at rcdrv.com. Visit our locations, Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala, or shop online anytime at rcdrv.com.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
For most of the 1960s, the Reds shortstop was Leo Cardenas, a smooth fielder with a gun of an arm. Leo made the All-Star team 4 times in Cincinnati and is one of a handful of shortstops in the Reds Hall of Fame. But often overlooked is he was one of the best hitting shortstops for the Reds. In 1966, he set the home run mark for Red shortstops with 20, a record that stood for 30 years. And on this date, June 5th in 1966, Leo had his biggest home run day, 4 home runs in a Sunday afternoon doubleheader at Crosley Field, 2 home runs in each game, and 8 RBIs. A slugfest for Leo Cardenas this June 5th, this date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Join our resident gambling degenerates Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money Sunday morning at 9.
Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Hi, I'm Josie. My daughter turns 5 today. Blow out the candles. I'm also an Ohio State Highway Patrol trooper. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can get home to celebrate with my daughter.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. Let's all give them room to work. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It'll be muggy and mild to start, but then clouds increase, and we also have chances of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. If it's not raining, you'll have mostly cloudy skies and our highs in the 80s. And then for tonight, overnight lows down into the 60s with chances of showers and storms developing. Some could be on the stronger side. And for Friday, we still have chances of rain and storms in the forecast. Otherwise, skies will be cloudy and highs in the low 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
2 men who both know the value of a good hat.
Your ball!
This is Bone and Tyvis.
Trey Hendrickson waiting for his new deal. How about some trade offers? ESPN has 4 trade offers that the Bengals might be listening to for Trey. Would you take one of them? T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan. I'm Matt Fontana this week for T-Bone, and he, of course, is Tyvis' pal. So, Trey Hendrickson, Tyvis, and I gotta be real with everybody, okay? And I know a lot of people are being introduced to me for the first time this week, and I've been so happy, so lucky to be able to step in here, and I had a lot of fun. Man, it's been great. But I gotta come clean, okay? I thought Trey Hendrickson was overrated. Okay.
Really?
I thought that. I have come out the other side, and I've understood that he is not. Okay, there was just something about him. I don't know. Maybe it's because he doesn't look like all the rest of these other pass rushers. He's just like ripped jack guys. He looks like a guy that just like walked off a construction site and goes out and sacks the quarterbacks. I don't know, something about it. But I was like, oh, just like when you mentioned premier or elite edge rushers, there was a point that I didn't know if Trey Hendrickson deserved to be in that. I was wrong for that, and I'll fully admit that. And Warren Sharp, a guy that does a lot of analytics work, he brought these stats up about Trey Hendrickson that just blew my mind. Over the last 2 seasons, when Trey Hendrickson is not on the field for the Cincinnati Bengals, they rank dead last in pressure percentage, completion percentage allowed, success rate by the quarterback on offense, and dead last in passer rating, basically allowing the quarterback to feast. When he is on the field, Cincinnati is top 12 in all 4 of those categories. So again, when he's off the field, they are dead last in all 4 of those. He's on the field, they're top 12. So now I sit here and I think about he wants his deal. He's on a 1-year, $21 million deal. We know Myles Garrett, $40 per year. Danielle Hunter, $36.5. Max Crosby, 35.5. Max Crosby, $35.5. Nick Bosa, $34. Josh Hines-Allen of the Jags, $28.5. Brian Burns of the Giants, $28. T.J. Watt, for now, $28. So I understand now that he is woefully underpaid. Now, the question has been raging on. I'm sure you guys have talked a lot about it. Of what the Bengals are going to do. They have the cap space to be able to extend him now. They pay T. They pay Jamar. Joe's taken care of. They might have some other pieces that they need to give the money to, but the ultimate question comes back to, do they value Trey Hendrickson? And I'd have to sit here and tell you, Tyvis, the fact that they haven't gotten a deal done with him yet probably tells you that they don't value Trey Hendrickson, which is kind of crazy to me.
The fact that they don't have a deal done with him, and the fact that their first round pick still remains unsigned, tells me that they don't appreciate good pass rushing, period, and they just think that they're gonna have to outscore everybody. Trey Hendrickson, to me, you think of Myles Garrett, you think of T.J. Watt, you think of Micah Parsons, and then boom, to me, you think of Trey Hendrickson. That's how high I think of him. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson is right on his heels with all those things, but Aiden Hutchinson, the reason that he doesn't get the notoriety that he's supposed to get, the recognition, is because he's not a guy that talks trash. He's not a guy that's loud in the media or anything like that. He just goes out there with it, tapes his fingers up, goes out there and gets axed. That's all he cares
I will tell
about.
you, I like the no glove tape fingers.
Yeah, I do too.
It's pretty badass.
I do
Trey. I'll give you that.
But the problem is that he's facing this, and I understand why Cincinnati is in the situation that they're in, is that he's 30, and pass rushers go off the decline. When you get to 30, 31, guys don't really produce that same way. But in his case, if they promised him something like, don't worry about it, just play this. They said play last season and we'll take care of you on the back end of that season. He goes out there and holds up his end of the deal. They should do what they said they was going to do. So I understand why he feels the way he feels. However, if that relationship is damaged because you feel lied to, which a lot of people would be like, I'm done. I would request the trade, which has already been done. And they should try to trade him away if they're not going to pay him. Somebody else will pay him or at least give him something that he's close to worth. I know it's going to hurt the franchise, but if you have no intentions on paying him, why hold him back? Go ahead and let him try to earn his money somewhere else.
And when Trey came out a little while ago and spoke to reporters, and the way he sounded hurt and he sounded scorned, where he was saying, like, I haven't had conversations with the Bengals, and the insinuation that he might sit out and might have to take games off and do what's needed to get his contract. And it's about the years, right? At 31, I know he wants his money, but it's also like he wants to get a 3, 4, 5-year deal if he can to get that security into the future. Let's say it all goes bad. Let's say that it's just it's not happening. Cincinnati's dug in, Hendrickson's dug in, and they can't come to a deal. Let's find some trade offers. So ESPN went around, and they did this for Kirk Cousins, they did this for Jalen Ramsey, and they did it for Trey Hendrickson. So they came up with 4 trade offers. Let's run through them and see if there's one that we would take, or maybe these 4 just wouldn't get it done. So the first one up is an obvious connection to a former defensive coordinator in Lou Anarumo. He is now in Indianapolis. The Colts give up a second and a 5, a 2 and a 5. They give up a second next year and a 5th-round pick in 2027 for Trey Hendrickson. Just that deal, Tyvis, would you take it, a 2 and a 5 for Trey Hendrickson?
If I was the Cincinnati Bengals?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna need it. You're gonna need to accumulate some picks for him, man. I don't think you're gonna get a first, but a second is probably as high as you're gonna get. Yeah, I take that deal.
I will tell you, there are no higher picks in these offers than a 2. So you're right. So there's a 2 and a 5 from Indianapolis. Next up, that was Jeremy Fowler who gave that offer. Dan Graziano's offer, just a straight 2nd-round pick, but from the Buffalo Bills, who you might have to see in the playoffs, that you might have to go through if you want to try to make a Super Bowl. A 2026 2nd-round pick from the Bills, which really, honestly, let's call it for what it is almost like a 3rd-round pick for how late it's going to be. Yeah, that from the Bills. What do you think of that?
That's almost not worth it. Plus, you're trying to like hand Buffalo a Super Bowl because now if Joey Bosa has a healthy season and they got Trey Hendrickson and they got Ed Oliver, like that's a nasty D-line that you would have to try to get through. And knowing that they are direct competitions to you getting to the Super Bowl, I don't think you could make that trade. You have to trade him NFC.
Yeah, well, speaking of NFC, these are trade offers from ESPN for Trey Hendrickson to the Bengals. Detroit comes in from Benjamin Solak. What if it was a 2 and a 4 that could become a 3 with performance conditions? The Bengals give up Hendrickson and a 5th-round pick. So Trey Hendrickson and a 5th-round pick for a 2 and a 4 that could become a 3 from the Detroit Lions.
That's a good deal, even though Detroit's probably going to be picking later as well in those picks. But like I said, you have to replace him with picks. You got to make sure you hit in the draft. Hopefully, Shamar Stewart can be somebody worth note, and then you can take one of these picks and go get another edge rusher. Hopefully the next year's class is stacked just like this one was.
Final one from Seth Walter. Washington comes to the table to try to get Hendrickson. Zerzan Newton, the defensive tackle, a 3 and a 7. And then the Commanders get Hendrickson there. So, again, no 2, but you get a 3, a 7, and a D tackle coming back.
Yeah.
Not feeling it.
Yeah, I ain't feeling that one.
So I think you and I agree, and as does ESPN, the best deal on the table here would be the Lions. A 2 and a 4 that can become a 3. You give up Hendrickson and a 5th, and you get him out of the AFC. He's to the NFC, and you get those picks back that you're talking about. But, Thomas, I'll ask you, at this juncture, as we've heard everything, best guess, is he playing in Cincinnati or somewhere else come August?
Oh, he probably playing in Cincinnati.
I think so, too.
I think they're going to listen. He's not going to sit out of games. I don't think they're going to trade him, and I think they just calling his bluff. Like, you going to play this season. We're not going to give you the contract. You're going to play your final year, and then you can walk in free agency. I think that's but if he has to do that, then now he has to play more motivated. Although he's mad at the organization, he can't go out there and not play well because now that's going to hurt him from getting a contract from the next team. So he still is going to have to go out there and play as hard as he possibly can if he wants to see some more money. So Cincinnati's in a situation where they're really not going to lose this battle.
And I think it's hard because, like you said, it's a statement on like the state of the franchise and letting good players leave, but also they got T back. Jamar's good to go. Like you said, they're just going to go out there and believe they're going to have to outscore everybody, which is a hard thing to do. But you got your T. I just think it'd be so different if this conversation was being had without T. Higgins having his long-term deal. Everybody wanted T to get his deal. He got it. Sometimes you can't have your cake and eat it too. And if something's got to go because they signed T and it's going to have to be Trey, well, that's the bet that they made. And a lot of people were asking for that. You got what you got. So here you are. All right, back to Ohio State with Ryan Day coming out and saying that he believes there should be 4 automatic qualifiers for the Big Ten. I asked the question, is it Ohio State's job to lead the push here for the Big Ten to get everybody else involved? I want to discuss that with Tyvis. We'll do it next. T-Bone to Tyvis, right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good Thursday morning. Noticing a few slowdowns all throughout the metro. Powell, Worthington, Westerville, Grove City even. We're noticing what your commute, if you are stepping out the door. 23 southbound looking a little bit slower than usual. We got your drive time at 13 miles per hour, so definitely a lot slower than usual. Just make sure to take it nice and easy on the roads. Not really seeing any accidents right now, but of course that could all change. Stay with 10TV for the very latest. I'm 10TV's Brina Albizu with your fan traffic.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? It's all here, only with Spectrum TV Select. Popular apps are included: Disney Plus, Max, Peacock Premium, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, and more. And live TV for sports, entertainment, and news. Enjoy across your devices no matter when or where you are. Get Spectrum TV Select and start streaming your favorites today. It's all here. Visit spectrum.com/entertainment. Restrictions apply.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Tyvis is drinking a protein shake for breakfast. T-Bone is eating a protein donut, minus the protein. And it's more than one donut. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
We did talk breakfast foods earlier. Bodie was right on with putting donuts on his top list, and Tyvis and I didn't even think about it. It's T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan. Ohio State out there, we need the 4 automatic qualifiers. Is it their job to be out front of all this with the Big Ten? Tyvis, I got to throw another question at you. I don't know why this just popped into my head. Does T-Bone like T-bone steaks?
I have no idea.
Okay,
look at him. I think he would for sure. I think he would for sure. I think he enjoys a nice
Your
T-bone.
answer is if it's food, he probably likes it.
I think he does. If I'm a betting man, I'm going to have to.
If I was a betting man, if I was to place a bet, if one Jonathan Smith T-Bone liked T-bone steaks, I would say you're a smart man, Tyvis pal, and you're probably right on with that bet. I didn't really think of it that way, but you're probably, I don't know, we were just talking food. I was like, man, I would imagine so, but yeah. Ask him to text me that. Let me know next week.
I will do that.
I'm really interested on that. I'll be around next week. I'm doing the Buckeye show next week. I'm excited for that.
Oh, okay,
so find out for me.
I got you.
And let me know on that one. So Ryan Day yesterday, speaking to Adam Rittenberg of ESPN, echoes what I assume might be the same thing that the Big Ten wants. They want the automatic 4 qualifiers for the Big Ten Conference, and they want there's 2 models right now for college football playoffs. The 5 and 11, top 5 conference champions and 11 at-large bids. And then the other model where it would be 4 for the Big Ten and the SEC, 2 each for the Big 12 and the ACC, and then 1 for the Group of 5 champion. The Big Ten I'm sorry, the Big 12 and the ACC actually opposed that plan, where they got the 2 guaranteed each, which I think is super interesting. Now, Ryan Day comes out to ESPN and he says, listen, we're the Big 10. We have 18 teams. We have some of the best programs in the country. We deserve at least the 4 automatic qualifiers. And Day continues on to say, you would have taken at least a couple of teams from the Pac-12 as well. So now that we have the 18 and a couple of the teams that were in the Pac-12, we deserve a bigger slice of the pie. And Tyvis, I think you and I both agree that the SEC and the Big Ten are always going to get the biggest slice of the pie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, when I read that and I was getting ready to do the show, the first thing that popped in my mind was this. Are they sending Ohio State out there to do the bidding of the Big Ten? And I would instantly say they would be the team to do it. Would they not? The following, the viewership, the success on the field, the draw, and frankly, the power within the Big Ten and the power within college football, I can't find much bigger than the Ohio State University. So is it the job of the university, Ross Bjork, Ryan Day, to go out there and say, we are going to champion this cause for the Big Ten, or do you think they should just look out for themselves? Now, I get where Ohio State would say, well, we are looking out for ourselves because 4 automatic qualifiers, like, we're going to be fine. Like, we might need to use that one year with the automatic qualifiers. And I just sit there and I say, no. You're Ohio State. You're going to be in this thing. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're tied with somebody else, they're going to lean towards you because of the fact that you're Ohio State. Like, I just look at this top. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but it's just interesting that, Ohio State's kind of leading things now for the Big Ten and how they feel about this whole thing.
Yeah, I feel like Ohio State has always been pretty humble when it comes to things like this, where they don't flex their muscles like the SEC, like a Georgia or Alabama does or did back in the day. I never felt like that Ohio State ever did that, but it is their duty to carry this conference. This conference goes as far as Ohio State does. It's the biggest brand. It's the biggest name recognition in the brand. Actually, really, one of the top in college football. So for me, it is up to them to look out for the rest of the conference. Now, by doing that, when it comes to like money and all those things, they should get a bigger slice of that pie, which I know is a topic of conversation of how, they do all this and bring all this money to the conference, but, Purdue's and them benefits from this and get a slice of that, where in Ohio State should be the one getting all the money that they've earned. So that's another story for another day. But as far as trying to keep this conference afloat and keep it as one of the premier conferences, yeah, they should do their job to do that.
Ryan Day continuing to talk with ESPN yesterday about why he thinks 4 automatic qualifiers is best. He added that more automatic spots for all the conferences will incentivize stronger non-conference scheduling. And he said, especially with some discrepancies in the conference scheduling models where, yeah, some people are stepping up and wanting to play interconference, other people not so much. I think you're either going to have conference championships matter, or you're either going to have out-of-conference games matter. Like, those are the world that we live in. If you're talking about one automatic qualifier, then you're going to put emphasis more on conference championships, again, with most likely the 2 teams in the SEC and the Big Ten championship game. I'm going to assume that both of them are going to make, the playoffs for years to come and things like that. Or go automatic qualifiers, and we're going to put more emphasis on the non-conference games, because then you feel freer to play Texas or Alabama or Georgia or whoever else, because you're not so feared of losing 2 or 3 games throughout the season and still having a shot to make it. And I guess from a school standpoint, they like saying they're Big Ten champions. There's a recruiting thing, but I just think now in today's day and age, Tyvis, I actually think the out-of-conference games might matter more from all a revenue standpoint, from a TV viewing standpoint. The out-of-conference games might actually start to matter more than the actual conference championships themselves.
I think it depends on what the outer conference game is.
Sure,
if you're talking Ohio State versus Virginia or something like that.
No offense to Youngstown State, you just got at it.
Ohio State versus Texas this year. Yes, that's going to hold a ton of weight because Texas is preseason number 1, and Ohio State is 3 or something like that. So that's why that's the case. So, but I would always say, I don't know. It's something about just being a champion, whether it's a conference champion or whether it's a national champion. It's just something about just being a champion that holds a lot of weight. And knowing that the Big Ten Conference is either one or two of the best, either the first or second best conference in football. I don't know. Just say I'm the champion of the Big Ten. It's a crown that you could wear, and I think that holds a little bit more weight than just beating Texas.
So, Ohio State won the national championship a year ago, 2 regular season losses, but it didn't face a Power 4 opponent in non-league play. Michigan won the national championship in the Final 4-team college football playoff, and they didn't play a Power 4 non-conference opponent. And, again, we're going to change that because Ohio State is playing Texas. And we did on yesterday's show where Bill Bender ranked all the Big Ten schedules and said Ohio State actually, by his metric, has the 4th hardest conference schedule of anybody in the Big Ten, including Texas. And they have ranked games against Penn State and Illinois and things along those lines. So it's like the power that it lies with scheduling the non-conference, but really you're asking your own conference to hold up their end of the bargain. I'm going to ask Illinois to continue to be good. I'm going to ask Nebraska to get their stuff put back together. I think it's better when Wisconsin is on the national scene and playing well. And you always have this turnover. Here comes back Illinois. Penn State has been there. You add Oregon and USC and UCLA to the mix and things like that. But the thing is, the power of these conferences, I think, lie within themselves. Where, I trust me, I'm really happy that Ohio State is playing Texas. I'm excited for that. Tyvis, I'd be just as excited if it was Ohio State, Wisconsin. Wisconsin was ranked 6 and Ohio State was ranked 2. I might get more excited for that game because it is a conference game, whether it's at Camp Randall or whether it's at the Shoe. There's more juice to that. So it's instead of trying to fix things without the out of conference, I'm just going to ask the Big Ten to hold up their end of the bargain.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. If you can get all the teams that in the Big Ten that's supposed to be good back to the 10-win teams or 11-win teams, like the Wisconsins, the Iowas, USC, that would make this conference very fun and very entertaining because by just being in the conference, you'll have those games where you'll play a top 25 team. There's no reason why a Wisconsin, a USC, Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, the Wolverines. There's no reason why those, 6, 7 schools I just named can't be all in the top 25, which would make the conference games better, which then would make the Big Ten championship more meaningful. It ain't like it's East and West anymore where you knew the East was going to win no matter what. I don't think the West ever won. The East always was going to win because they had the stronger side. Now that it's just the top 2 teams, you're going to get a team that's probably likely in the top 10, maybe even top 5 opponent matchup for that Big Ten championship game, which is going to hold a lot of weight.
Absolutely. And again, I like opening it up. I like the model. I think we both do with the 5 automatic and the 11 at large. Let it open up, let it flow. And at the end of the day, you know who a playoff team is, and you know.
You do.
You just know. And we all know that, Tyvis. And I get that there's a lot of factors that need to go in for the actual decision making. But let's call it, you know. You know, I know, everybody knows. And the sooner the NCAA just steps up and admits that, and says that to the ACC and says that to the group of 5 to say you will never be on equal footing. Accept that. And maybe if you want, go win a couple of national championships and then we can talk about the tide turning a little bit. Maybe at that point. But for right now, it's going to be more of these teams. And sorry, you're right. Arizona State didn't deserve to go. Boise State didn't deserve to go. Should Alabama have probably been in there? Yeah.
No.
Call it for what it is.
No, they shouldn't have. They lost to the Wolverines. They stink.
Not. Yeah. Again, didn't make it. That's all their fault. It is what it is. All right, wrap things up. got to get our NBA Finals predictions. It begins tonight. Talk to Riser coming up as well. Stay with us right here. T-Bone and Tyvis.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, if you are heading towards the Westerville area or live in that area, we are noticing some major slowdowns for you this morning. There is a disabled vehicle right now that's causing a little bit of concern. 71 northbound, just beyond 270, that north side there. Right lane is blocked right now. Crew members are still on scene, but they are cleaning up the area. That is pretty good news right there. But again, those backups look pretty intense for your Thursday commute. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash, or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HindererMotorCompany.com.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Kroger brand 80% lean ground beef is on sale. 3-pound packages are only $3.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
What John Smiley, Chairman and CEO, wants you to know about First Bank of Central Ohio.
Our competitive advantage is the number of years we've been in Central Ohio and the fact that we're able to make decisions here locally that make sense for the client. At the end of the day, it's the ability for us to say, okay, what can we do to make your banking easier for you?
Experience what it's like to be first at fbcentralohio.com. Member FDIC. An equal housing lender.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Their semi-annual sale includes 4 free windows with the purchase of 4 windows, a free entry door, and no money down interest or payments until 2027. Hurry, the sale ends soon. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com today.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Everybody today in America is trying to get healthy. I'm doing it. You're doing it. There's people out there everywhere. And most people, they don't feel good. And so when you don't feel good, what do? You go to the doctor. There's pills, there's steroids, there's surgery. You don't want to deal with any of that. You don't want to be put on the shelf. You don't want to put things in your body that you do not enjoy. So here's what you need to do. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics, just like I did. My body was beaten up, so was my dad's. We went to QC Kinetics. They're not into the quick fixes. They're going to go there and they're going to diagnose you and find regenerative treatments with your own body's healing power to help heal that damaged tissue. And so you're going to feel better. You're going to be able to do the things you'll love again, and that's perfect because it's summertime. So listen, they're going to go right to the source of it at the cellular level. So give them a call at 380-208-4544 or go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. They have offices all over Ohio. So go check them out today.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as, that's 888-665-0696.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. All of the hair on their heads is slowly migrating to the lower part of their faces and cracking. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
Not anymore for our guy, Tyvis. He got that taken care of. Can't worry about that anymore. He's got it. So T-Bone's going to have to hold it up here on T-Bone and Tyvis on 97.1 right here on The Fan. We got to do it. Let's get to the buzzer. Spring Reezer in.
Shove it down your throat.
It's time for the buzzer.
Sponsored by Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin. AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
All right, we've been talking. We're going to get to the NBA Finals predictions coming up. But, Eric, I got to ask you about this stuff with the Big Ten. We've been talking so much about Ryan Day. Do you think the Big Ten deserves not deserves, but do you think it's better if they have the 4 automatic qualifiers, or do you like the 5 automatic for the conferences and then the 11 at-large bids?
Yeah, I was about to say, and good morning, gentlemen. It's never about deserves. I like what Ryan Day likes. So if he wants those AQs, throw them all at me.
Do you think he's got to hold it up, though? Because he's doing the work for, Illinois. He's doing the work for Penn State and stuff like that.
And it's not fair at all, but someone's got to do it.
Isn't there something about the weight of the crown or something like that? Or
very heavy, I hear.
Yeah, heavy, something like that. I guess that's what they got to do.
Tony Petitti's in witness protection. You haven't heard from him in months. So someone's got to be out there stumping for the conference.
But listen, either way, in either model, it's not like Ohio State's not going to make either one.
Well,
don't do that. Don't do that. The worst. I wonder what the worst we've ever finished in the past 10 years.
They started 14 or 16 and 14 when that first playoff rankings came out. And then I think you and your buddies did something special with that.
See, even at 16, they wouldn't even fret. You're still in it.
See, what was the end of the season rankings in 2011? It was Braxton. It was, Tressel was out. It was a bad year.
They finished 7 and 6 or 6 and 7 that year?
Something like that. I was at that Michigan game, by the way.
They was a depot overthrow away from winning that game.
That's the thing, too. And I was like, dude, this kid's going to be so special because in the situation that he was in to be able to be close. All right, 2011 final rankings.
Unranked.
AP poll. Yeah, unranked. Okay. So, yeah, there you go. It had to have been right at that. So, I'm just saying, that's been, once in the past probably 20 years?
Yeah.
That you've been finished out from there? And probably once in May. I can't even think of another one. You weren't in the top 16? At this point of us talking about just the playoffs in the top 16, once. I'll give you maybe even twice in my lifetime that you've not been there and you have no signs of really slowing down in that. You'll be fine. I just, I think Reezer's right. You're out there. You're doing the bidding for Illinois and Penn State and Nebraska and those other schools because for some unknown reason, the Big Ten ain't going to show up. All right, we haven't done this yet. Guys, we need I don't want to spoil yours, Reezer, because you guys are coming up on Bishop and Friends. You got plenty coming up. But NBA Finals predictions. It's got to be the Thunder. It's so massively huge. But I think the Pacers are going to take 2. I think my bet, I'm going to head over to Prime Sports, Tyvis, and I think I'm going to take specific the Thunder in 6.
That seems like a safe bet.
You like
I'm gonna go Thunder in 5. I think the Pacers shocked the world tonight, pulled the upset like they always do. Tyrese hits the big shot, and I just think OKC says, all right, we seen that. That's not happening again. Boom, boom, boom. They handle business. So 5 games, 4-1. Gentleman's sweep.
I think it's hard because, I look at it and I say, this is a weird statement, but the Thunder aren't good enough to, look past them. You know what I'm saying? It would be easier. And the Thunder were the number 1 seed. They were in the Western Conference Finals a year ago. They've won all these games. But, I look at the Thunder and I say, yeah, you guys are really good, but you're not so good to be cocky enough to look past the Pacers. But I just wonder if the Pacers come out with what they've kind of done at this point, where they just play this defense, they're physical, they're up in it, and they make things really hard for Shea. Because that's the end of the day too. The Thunder, they're not going to win the series without Shea being Shea. And
Jalen Williams doing some
Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren. I'm going to drop this theory on you, and I'm stealing it from my guy Justin Tinsley. So I hosted with Justin on ESPN, and he dropped me on this NBA playoffs, and I think it's perfect. To win a 4-game NBA playoff series, you need 2 games that your star player is a star and you win those 2. You win a third when your second or third player has the game of their lives and they go off and win one. And then you usually win a fourth one when some random guy shows up and goes like TJ McConnell or Peyton Pritchard to the Celtics. I know the Celtics aren't in it, but I'm just saying, like, some random guy just shows up and goes off. That's Justin's theory on the 4 games. I think it's a good one.
Well, that sounds pretty spot on when you sit here and you think about just some of the recent play. I think that Tyrese is going to have a game, but I believe in the Dortcher chamber. I think Lou Dort is really good. I think he's going to shut down Tyrese, and it's going to have to come from Pascal Siakam or Aaron Naismith or something like that. Like, somebody else got to step up and make these plays, which Pascal last series, he did it. Man. He did it. He went for like 30 like twice. So it's there, but I don't know. Isaiah Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren, like, those guys are good big-time shot blockers, do well in the paint. I don't know. I just don't see it. I really don't.
Reeser, what do you guys got coming up on Bishop and Friends?
So we're going to do some more AQ conversation. You're going to be expanding the 16-team CFP, as we all know. We're going to get Paul Feinbaum's thoughts at 10:30 on what Ryan Day had to say to ESPN. We'll talk a little bit about the NBA Finals, Game 1 tonight in OKC. And then Leon Draisaitl didn't score at all last season in the Stanley Cup Finals. He had 2 pretty important goals last night for the Edmonton Oilers, but this series is far from over, I think, as it should be when you're talking about the 2 best teams in hockey. We're going to do some higher or lower at 11 o'clock. We're going to rank NFL divisions and ask, does Myles Garrett really need to be at Browns OTAs?
I love it. Coming up right after us, Bishop and Friends. Keep it locked here. Tyvis, Bodie, great stuff, boys. We'll talk to you tomorrow on T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good Thursday morning. We are noticing a new crash pop up on our system here. This is just south of Westerville, 270 eastbound at Cleveland Avenue. A right lane is blocked at this moment, causing a little bit of backup, but of course that could increase as more people head into work and school this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brian Albizu with your fan traffic. Make it a great day.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Billy.
Hi, I'm Billy Hatcher, a former professional baseball player, and I'm a patient at Tri-State Men's Health. Before I started the treatment, it was like my body was sore all the time, and I was feeling very, very sluggish. One day, I would be full of energy, and the next day was like, where did all my energy go? And since I've started, my body hasn't felt this good in a long time. I feel like, I'm not 21 to 25 again. It's just been great. I feel very, very comfortable coming here. When you have the energy, it's amazing. You get to do so many other things that you couldn't do prior to that. If you're tired of hurting in the mornings, you want to improve your health, you want to feel better, give a call to Tri-State Men's Health. I promise you, you will feel better.
Thanks, Billy. It's true. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now, there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and, of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
Hollywood Casino Columbus is bringing the funny this summer. Tiffany Haddish takes the mic on Friday, July 18th with the Funny and Fearless Tour. Then Dion Cole Live hits the stage Friday, September 5th for a night of nonstop laughs. 2 comedy icons, 2 unforgettable nights. Get your friends, grab a drink, and get ready to laugh all night long. Big names, big laughs, only at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Visit HollywoodColumbus.com for more details. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Stay hydrated. It's hot out there. So my teenage son just went out in sweatpants and a hoodie. It's 98 degrees. At least I know he'll be cool in our house, thanks to Atlas Butler. If something goes wrong, they'll fix it within 24 hours. They call it their comfort pledge. Get too hot?
I need my phone.
Oh, your phone. Should have known.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Evan Cohen here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows. Binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on the warm weather vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take your shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5heshot.com for full details and rules and to enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th.